going into the 7th game of the year, you'd like to think that you're pretty healthy, and we have. We've had some tough games, and we've been practicing hard, and we've come out of the last few games without any serious injuries, other than Trapillo 2 weeks ago in Detroit. You know, he's going to miss a few weeks, but overall, the physical condition and health of our team is pretty good at this point.
Who'll be inactive for you today?
We're going to have Gene McGuire is going to be inactive, and then, of course, our third quarterback, Steve Walsh.
You're going to keep John Tice and Vince Buck out of this game. Is that with an eye toward the off week? You really get a couple of more weeks to get them ready?
Yeah, I just think that the guys that we got now are better prepared to play a game than either John or Vince with the limited practice time they have. John is still not 100%. He's still got some shoulder problems, although he is practicing, and Vince just came back to practice this week after missing 5 weeks. So I don't, Vince could probably play. They both could probably play, but in all cases where I make these kind of decisions, the guys that we got that are healthy, that have been working, I feel are better prepared to help us win a game than either Vince or John today.
John's shoulder problem has really been perplexing, hasn't it?
Yes, it has, because it's not keeping him from practice, and he's out there doing everything, and yet he's still not 100%. He's probably about 80%, maybe a little bit more. He's sore the next day, and I just am undecided as to if he had to go into a game where the intensity level, is at its peak, how he would respond and how he'd be able to play. And at this point, I just feel like the other guys would do a better job because they're 100%.
Any concessions at all today to the heat? That's supposed to be a high of 93 degrees here in Tempe today. Any concessions at all on your part?
I don't know what we can do. We got to play in it. And we had some heat in New Orleans on Wednesday and Thursday when we have our 2 hard days of practice, and the guys, we practiced hard, and they were fine. We got a little cooling off Friday and Saturday, as everybody knows down there. But I think Dean has had the guys load up on a lot of liquids last night, and he will today before game time. We've got to go out and play, that's all.
We'll be back to talk more about the Saints as they prepare for the Cardinals here this afternoon in Tempe. You're listening to Saints Football.
Hi, this is Wayne Mack. Join me and my pal Renee Nadeau right here after every Saints game on Sports 1280. I've always enjoyed talking about the Saints, and as soon as everybody else has their say about the game, you, Renee, and I will have the last word with your phone calls. In New Orleans, it's 524-1280. Outside New Orleans, toll-free, 1-800-364-1280. Join yours truly, Wayne Mack and Renee Nadeau, and your phone calls as we wrap it all up on Saints Game Day on Sports 1280.
The Law Office of Cardell Thomas provides competent and trustworthy legal advice in a warm and comfortable environment. This team of legal professionals has served their New Orleans community for the past 10 years. Now, if you have legal problems, their professionals stand poised to help you. Cardell Thomas and his associates have assisted thousands of people just like you in cases from maritime, personal injury, criminal, divorces, and succession. Stop by their office at 3723 Canal Street or call 482-2841. 482-2841. The law firm of Cardell Thomas gets results.
You're coming off your best rushing performance of the year, the 135 yards that you got against the Rams a week ago. The Giants had an awful lot of success on the ground against the Cardinals last week, rushing for 260 yards. The assumption would be that you would certainly test them early, given your recent success and their problems with that.
We're going to try to run the ball on them, Jim. I don't think we can just come out and mash them. I don't think we're that good a team running the ball. And I think that if we can throw some early, that it will help us. We're going to run. We don't do that well. That doesn't help us. But they've made a couple of lineup changes on their defensive line that I think are going to help them based upon the tapes that I've seen. They're starting a rookie by the name of Bankston at nose guard, and their number 1 pick last year, Eric Swan, at left end. Both these guys from tapes look like they're, to me, really good young players, better than the guys they've replaced. So I think they're going to be a tougher team defensively than they have been the first 5 games.
Joe Bugel said after that Giant loss that the tackling was a huge problem. As you looked at the tapes, were there a lot of holes, or was tackling one of the real problems for the Cardinals last week?
I read that same comment by Bugel, and I didn't see the tackling being that shabby. I mean, I've watched other games, NFL games, and I haven't seen it any worse. The Giants hit some big plays and got ahead and ran the ball, but I didn't see something I was hoping I would, where I looked at it where I'd see, well, hey, man, we can really exploit this, but I didn't see that.
You've expressed your concern about the offense. I guess everybody who follows the Saints has as well. Have you drawn any conclusions as to how it can get better?
No. We're trying. I mean, I don't think we can work miracles to get more points. We're just going to have to execute a little bit better as we get into the zone close to the goal line, and either catch a pass or make a block or throw one in there or make the right read on a run, something like that gets us the first down or gets us in the end zone. It's just a matter of execution. I don't know if we're ever going to lead. This year, we're not going to be the kind of offensive team that is going to be a high-power offense. But, you don't need to. If you score enough to win, that's what's important. But I would like to see us scoring more touchdowns rather than getting down there and having to settle for a field goal or nothing.
We come back, I'd like you to talk about your offensive line in just one moment. This is the Saints Network. Jim, last week against the Rams, your offensive line didn't allow Bobby Hebert to be sacked. He's only been dropped 7 times this season. How about a few words about those guys along the offensive line, perhaps a thumbnail as to their progress and where they stand at this point in the season?
I think they're doing a real good job. They're getting better every week. We've always done a good job of protecting the quarterback. We've never given up a lot of sacks, so this kind of continues that trend that we've set the last few years. So, and that's a combination of a lot of things, not just the offensive line. But I think they're doing a good job. We've stayed healthy with our starters. The only guy we've lost is Trapillo, and he'll be back in a few weeks. I think they're all improving each week as a unit and individually. I think Jim Dombrowski is playing real good football. Derek Kennard had his best game last week, we felt, as a Saint. Stan Brock did not play well the first game of the year, but he's played real good since then. Hilge is just as steady as can be, and I think Richard Cooper and Chris Port, who plays some in each game, are doing good, and I'm pleased with how they're playing. And they've got to stay consistent and keep getting better. And I think as we go through the season here, if that's the case, it'll end up being a real good unit.
The fans and us up in the booth sometimes have a hard time picking out who's doing well and who's doing poorly unless someone is sacked or there's an obvious pancake in the open field. But it seemed to us that Jim Dombrowski's playing awfully well. Is he having his best year, do you think, as a Saint?
I think he is. I would say through 6 games that he's probably played as well as he's ever played. And he's been a good player for us. I think Jim is an underrated player in this league. He doesn't get a lot of the credit that some other offensive linemen do. But I read about some other offensive linemen that supposedly are better than he is, and I wouldn't trade him for some of these guys. I think he's an excellent player and right in the prime of his career right now.
Defensively, you've only allowed an average of 10.2 points per game. That's number 1 in the NFL. And I know while you don't like to dwell on statistics, that's probably a very important statistic.
It's the most important statistic from a defensive standpoint, is keeping people from scoring points. If you can do that, you got a chance to win. So this is something that our defense has always prided itself on. I think we led the NFL last year in points allowed. So if we can continue to do that, then we will continue to win football games.
We'll turn our attention to the Cardinals in just one moment. You're listening to Saints Football.
This is Renee Nato. Join me and Wayne Mack right here after every New Orleans Saints game on Sports 1280 for the wrap-up show. Call us at 524-1280 in New Orleans. Out of town, toll-free, 1-800-364-1280. And we'll talk Saints football. On the wrap-up show, we'll have interviews, replays, and your calls about the team, the game, and the Saints in general. For the last word on the Saints game day, listen to the wrap-up show with me, Renee Nato, and Wayne Mack on Sports 1280.
The newest resort on the Biloxi Gulf Coast, the Grand Biloxi Beach Resort, has put together something special for all you big winners, just so you don't have to wait in line. They have arranged for your VIP entrance to the Isle of Capri Casino and the Biloxi Bell Casino. The Big Winners plan also includes room for 2, all bar drinks, your choice of a meal daily, tax and transportation, all for $59 per person per night. Some restrictions apply. Don't wait in line. Be a VIP at the Grand Biloxi Beach Resort. Call 1-800-325-9384.
All sports, all day.
In Chris Chandler, you've got a quarterback today that you faced in, I guess, a couple of different uniforms, maybe 3, an athletic guy who gives him some of the things that Rosenbaugh gives him as far as being mobile.
Yes, he does. He's a very good athlete. Came out of college, University of Washington, is a good athlete, good runner. I know he's a good golfer. Heard 3 handicap. That ain't bad. But he's throwing the ball real well. Looks like he really is fit into their offense, and he's been there with them now, all last year or most of last year in the off season. I know he worked hard in the off season, and he really seems like comfortable with running their offense. And I've always liked Chris Chandler. I think he's a good athlete, got a good arm, a confident, heady guy, a tough guy, and a good scrambler. So it doesn't surprise me that he's playing well. He's got some excellent receivers to throw to too.
Let's talk about those receivers for a moment. Ernie Jones and Randall Hill lead them with 20 catches each. Hill has the supposed deep speed. He's run like a 4.32, but Jones seems to have deceptive deep speed.
Right. He's got good quickness, and I think, I don't know how fast he is, just straight speed, but he's fast enough. And Randall can really run. I mean, he's the real thing. He can flat fly. Both those guys, along with Ricky Prohl, their other receiver, all have excellent hands. They make the tough catches. They can jump. They make catches with guys draped all over them. They seem like they're real competitive receivers. This team throws deep more than any team that we've played this year. So we're going to see a lot of balls going downfield. In past games, they've completed some. They've had some pass interference calls against the defense that's given them good field positions, like a completion, you know. So, you know, these are things that we're going to have to do a good job against today.
They've got a very big back in Ivory Lee Brown, 6'2", 245, the guy that they seem to be basing their running attack on at the moment.
Right, he's their main guy. They're you know, primarily a one-back offense, and he's been their guy on first and second down. When they get into passing situations, they put somebody else in there, but he's the guy carrying the ball. He's big. They list him at 240 something, I think, but I don't know what he is for sure, but he's got good quickness and he's a power runner. You know, he's not just a speed burner by any sense, but he can bust it if you let him, and we're going to have to tackle him.
Back with a final comment in just one moment. This is the Saints Network.
Tom Dempsey for Tabasco brand pepper sauce.
Dempsey kicks, it's on the way! It is!
Most people remember me for that 63-yard field goal, but the things I remember most when I was kicking in other NFL cities was New Orleans' terrific food and that Louisiana legend Tabasco sauce. In fact, I came back to New Orleans to live and never stopped using those great Tabasco brand products. If you want to get that extra kick out of your favorite foods, do what the Dempseys do. Make Tabasco sauce a part of your lineup.
It's Sears Days, our biggest Sears Days ever. Come into Brand Central for great Kenmore values, like this washer-dryer pair. Our large capacity Kenmore washer with 6 cycles and 3 water temperatures is just $279. Matching Kenmore dryer, just $229. That's a $70 savings on the pair, but only until October 24th, so don't miss Sears Days. Prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico.
You can count on me!
It's difficult to savor wins very long in this league, but it would be nice to head into your off week on a 3-game winning streak, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this would be nice. You know, I think going into our bye 5-2 would be a real shot in the arm for our football team if we could do that and then not come out of this game with any serious injuries. You know, I would feel pretty good where we stand. You'd always like to have won more, but I know that it could be a lot worse. And hey, this is going to be an important game for us. It's not a division game, but a conference game, and we're right in the hunt at this point. It's still early in the season, but it's a road game, and if we could somehow pull this thing off, I think it would be a nice victory for us.
Best of luck to you today, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
That's Coach Jim Mora for Jim Mora's Chalk Talk. I'm Jim Henderson.
Chalk Talk with head coach Jim Mora, an exclusive pregame presentation of the Saints Radio Network. Kickoff is just minutes away, and just moments away are the pregame thoughts of Jim Henderson, Archie Manning, and David Garrett. You're listening to New Orleans Saints football.
Sports 1280 has the big three, Archie Manning, Coach Jim Mora, and Jim Thinks. Every Monday morning at 7, it's the Archie Manning Monday Morning Quarterback Show, live from Stonebreaker's Restaurant. Have breakfast and meet and chat with Mr. Saints, Archie Manning, about Saints football.
I think this tackle was, the thing happened to Haverdick early. And I think this tackle thing's been in the back of their mind, the coaches, personnel, people, every since.
Every Tuesday night at 6:30 on Sports 1280, it's the nuts and bolts of Saints football and what makes it go. It's your chance to talk to Coach Jim Mora about the good, the bad, and the exceptional play of the Saints.
Special teams coach and I were talking today. We both are optimistic that we're going to do better in the kicking game. We're going to be okay there.
Every Wednesday evening at 6:30, we get down to business with the Jim Think Show, live from Stonebreaker's Restaurant. Have dinner and talk Saints football with the president and general manager of the New Orleans Saints.
Tom had been talking to me about my contract off and on, and he was aware that I was talking to Jim Mora, but this time of the year is extremely busy for Jim Mora and Tom Benson.
The big three, Archie Manning, Coach Jim Mora, and Jim Thinks, exclusively on Sports 1280.
When you come to Royal Oldsmobile, you don't have to wonder if you're getting the best deal or the best service anywhere. You can count on it. Royal is the dealership that's different.
At Royal, we have 5 Oldsmobile master technicians. That's more than anybody in our southeast region.
When you buy a car from Royal Oldsmobile, from selection to taking delivery of the car, it's going to be a pleasant experience because we're different.
Take it from the pros who know. Royal Oldsmobile, the dealership that's different.
Whatever you choose, you'll save at Shoetown and Put in Fashion's half-price apparel sale. Buy any apparel item at our everyday low price and get the second of equal or lesser value for half price. Got that? Choose any apparel item. Buy one and the second of equal or lesser value is half price at Shoetown and Put in Fashion. Save up to 30% on name brand athletics. Reebok, Converse, Fila, Pony, and Nike. Men's, women's, and children's athletics. Up to 30% off and half price on apparel during our anniversary at Shoetown.
Here come the Saints. Clear Channel Sports presents New Orleans Saints football as the Saints defend their Western Division NFC title. Proud sponsors of the Saints on radio include Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. Popeye's famous fried chicken and biscuits, the official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. Sears brand Central, the brand you want at the store you trust. Your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers, remember, there's only one Jeep. Pennzoil Motor Oil and Gum Out, available at all Walmart stores. BC Headache Powder, no matter where you're hurting, nothing works faster. Tabasco brand products, Tabasco sauce, 7-spice chili, and Tabasco Bloody Mary mix. They're Louisiana legends. By Isle of Capri and Biloxi. Isle of Capri for Caribbean-style fun and games. And in Louisiana by the Louisiana Lottery. Now stand by to claim your 50-yard line seat with the 1992 play-by-play voice of the Saints, David Garrett.
Welcome to Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix, where today the Phoenix Cardinals take on the New Orleans Saints in this NFL highlight here on the Saints Radio Network. The Cardinals hold a 10-7 advantage in the all-time series, although the Saints have emerged victorious in the last two meetings between these teams. The teams met on the final week of last season right here on the floor of Sun Devil Stadium, the Saints' first trip in the regular season to Tempe. New Orleans intercepted 5 passes in that contest, including 3 by Gene Atkins, as the Saints cruised to a 27-3 win and clinched their first ever NFC West Championship. The Cardinals have only one win this year. That was a victory earlier over the world champion Washington Redskins 2 weeks ago. Phoenix lost last week to the New York Giants by a score of 31-21. Which Cardinal team will we see, and why were the Cardinals victorious against the Washington Redskins a couple of weeks ago? Well, men best suited to answer those questions, of course, Jim Henderson and Archie Manning. First up, we'll say what happened in that Washington game. Why were these 1-4 Cardinals victorious that day, Archie?
Well, I think primarily because Mark Ripken kind of went to sleep at the end of the game, threw a couple of interceptions to ex-Saint Robert Massey, but it was definitely some big plays. I think it kind of justified the trade in the minds of the Cardinals and their media and their fans for the Robert Massey and Terry Kennard trade. That also that was 2 of the 3 total interceptions that the Cardinals have this year, but they were big. They won the game against the Cardinals late and continued to mount some problems for the Redskins, which they've had this year.
It was a defensive-dominated game, we could say, for the Phoenix Cardinals, of course, getting the bulk of their points using that method. Jim Henderson, this is a team that has been scored on more than any other team in the NFL. They have allowed the most points of any other team, not only in the NFC, but of all the NFL. And even though the Saints have been criticized for their lack of scoring this year, Phoenix has scored 2 less points overall, though they've been in the 20s the past couple of weeks. Why, I guess I'm asking you, too.
Well, I think primarily it's their defensive line. They've had a lot of problems there, David. They cut their starting nose tackle this week. They're starting Eric Swan for the first time. They're reach last year in the first round when they took him, and that's been the main problem. They haven't been able to have any sort of dominance up front with their defensive line, but I think this is a dangerous team, and I think that's the way the Saints feel. The Cardinals are rapidly backing themselves into a corner. Last night they were worked out by Joe Bugle. They've shaken up the defensive line. They've cut some people. They've brought some people in this week, and I think a lot of people feel that they're starting to play for their jobs and perhaps coach for their jobs in these next couple of games.
Well, will the Saints score more points today than they've been averaging? One man who might know is a man that Jim talked with Coach Jim Mora about in the pregame show, and that's Jim Dombrowski, having a great season. We'll talk with Mr. Dombrowski in a moment when we continue on our pregame show from Sun Devil Stadium right here on the Saints Network.
in shape with Pennzoil Motor Oil from Walmart. Pennzoil Motor Oil from Walmart gives your car's engine the protection needed against heat, cold, and friction. And Walmart has Pennzoil Motor Oil available in straight and multiple viscosity grades. So for world-class protection for your car's engine, pick up some Pennzoil Motor Oil. It will keep your car in shape, and at the Walmart price, your budget will be fit. Walmart. Always.
The Isle of Capri Casino introduces Caribbean Fun Spots. Collect Caribbean Fun Spots for more fun and more value. It's colorful, exciting, and very rewarding. Get your Caribbean Fun Spots at Mississippi's favorite fun spot, the Isle of Capri Casino at Point Cadet in Biloxi. For information, call 1-800-THE-ISLE.
I love the Isle of Capri Casino.
Welcome back to Phoenix and the Saints pregame. Jim Dombrowski is our guest, and Jim Henderson and Archie have mentioned several times that the coaches are thinking you're grading out to maybe have a Pro Bowl type year. Do you think you're playing like that?
It's kind of hard to say. I've never been selected, so I don't really know how I need to play to get there, but I think I'm playing pretty well. I've played well the past few seasons, and I haven't made it to the Pro Bowl, so I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see at the end of the year.
Do people make too much about points scored?
No, because you need to score points to win the game. I'd rather score a lot of points and not have a lot of yards than have a lot of yards and not have any points.
What's it like coming off the field with little or none, though? I mean, surely, what is it like?
Well, it's frustrating because particularly the past few weeks we've been able to move the ball. We just haven't been able to get it into the end zone for a touchdown, and that's the whole reason why we're out there, is to get the ball in the end zone, and we're not doing that. We haven't really done a good job of that all year long, and we just have to execute better. It just comes down to we're messing up execution-wise, and you can't do that, particularly when you're trying to score a touchdown.
Someone on the offensive line this past week said after the win over the Rams, you see improvement, it's coming, wait and see. You feel like that the Saints are getting primed for a game that will maybe see a busted-out offense?
It'd be nice. It's hard to predict, but we are getting better each week. The whole overall performance of the offense is getting better each week, and we're doing things to get us into position to score touchdowns, which is a positive. It's just that we're having breakdowns when we get in there, which is a big negative, and we're working hard to try and correct those execution and other problems that we have once we get down in the red zone.
We had you on in the pregame show at Philadelphia. You said this is the best group you've ever been around. Now, granted, Trapillo's hurt now with the arch and bring Paul Giton back on the squad. Do you feel like you've dropped off a little, or you're still hanging on in that level that you thought at Philadelphia?
I think we're still doing a good job. We've only given up 7 sacks so far this year, and we're running the ball better than we have, and that's a big positive for this offense. And I think we've got a lot of talent. It's just that we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, and it doesn't matter how much talent you have. If you shoot yourself in the foot, you're not going to get it done.
Phoenix has one win. It was against the world champions. They're a hungry ball club. Anything can happen in the NFL. I can stack up 80 cliches for you to say that a weekend like this is a dangerous one. Don't you agree?
Sure. Any weekend's a dangerous weekend, but on paper you look at their record at 1-4, and we're at 4-2, and people are just naturally going to assume that we should win the football game. But Phoenix has a lot of talented players. I know particularly about their defense, and they've been giving up some yards, but they're playing pretty sound defense. It's just that the running backs for the other teams have been able to break some tackles and turn what would be maybe a 3 or 4 yard run into like a 20 or a 30 yard run, and that has really hurt them, the ability of the opposing team's running backs to break some tackles.
And our thanks to Jim Dombrowski for joining us on the pregame show. Now these local messages. You're listening to Saints football.
Sports 1280 is now the official flagship station for the University of New Orleans Privateers. Join the Privateer broadcast team of Dave Garrett and Doug Joubert throughout the 92-93 basketball season.
Good. He was fouled on the arm by King. Talk about bringing the fans and the announcer alive on that one. So unexpected. Newton just jumps up, puts one through. He was banked on the arm, and they caught him.
NCAA basketball from the Lakefront Arena or on the road. Follow the UNO Privateers on their new home, Sports 1280.
He's flying around Brown. Double team. Gets it way out. Almost threw it away. Picked off by Morgan to the near side wing. Out to Connor at the top. He'll jack up the three again. Got it.
Coach Tim Floyd has 8 of 10 linemen returning, and with the teams rejoining the Sun Belt Conference, hopes are high for another trip to national postseason tournament play.
Back gets the loose garbage now to Strickland. He turns down a three-pointer. Now goes to Bricky, who drives the
Listen to
baseline.
Dave Garrett and Doug Schubert, courtside on the voice of the University of New Orleans Privateers, Sports 1280.
What can you buy for $9.95 these days?
We deliver.
Quite a lot. With Express Mail overnight delivery service from your post office. For less than $10, you put the full power of the United States Postal Service to work for you. Over 700,000 men and women ready to do whatever it takes to assure next morning delivery. Express Mail service, just $9.95 for up to 8 ounces. Sponsored by your Postal Service.
Exxon Shop salutes the 26th Saints season with special savings they're passing on to you. Save with the Tiger all season long. Stop in at a local convenient Exxon Shop near you and stock up on plenty of Lipton tea. Try the new Lipton Original Fresh Brewed Iced Tea in a 16-ounce bottle for 99 cents. The only really brewed iced tea, and it's available at Exxon Shop. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon Shop. Stock up on plenty of Doritos. All large sizes, assorted flavors, your choice, only 99 cents. At all participating Exxon Shops. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon Shop. Prices may vary at participating locations.
Sports 1280.
Welcome back to Sun Devil Stadium. It seats 73,473 men. How many do you think will be here today?
Plenty of good seats still available for this one, David. If you're driving around Sun Devil Stadium and you don't have anything to do for the next 3 hours and want to work on your tan and probably be totally bored watching the Cardinals, drop in because there are plenty of good seats still available.
Jim Dombrowski was the comment that we had just before our break. And I wanted to analyze the offensive line. It has played well enough, but not consistently. The Saints have dominated a couple of games offensively and run up their most numbers last week, but still cannot punch it in. What does that do, Archie, once you cannot get it in the first or second time when you really have dominated a drive?
I think it plays on your mind just a little bit. So many times a football team will have a problem inside the 20 or what they call the red zone, and then when that goes on for 2 or 3 games and it hits the papers, it becomes a really tough thing then because it kind of gets in the mind of probably the coordinator, the quarterback, and all the players out there. And I think that could work a little bit against the Saints, the fact that they hadn't scored a lot of points. I think maybe since we were here last year, one time we've scored more than 2 touchdowns. Or this year we just scored 2 touchdowns one time in a game. That was against the Bears. So I think it's a situation where you just look forward to the day that you can break out of it and hope. I think the entire offense or everyone hopes that is today.
Well, Jim, the assumption then is if you do break out of it or you do score early, then the floodgates open. Is that an easy perception to make, and maybe against this team?
Well, I think the Saints should score points today. If they don't score points against these guys, there is true cause for worry. If the Saints were to break open and score 28, 30, 35 points against these guys, I don't think it's any indication that they're going to continue to score those kind of numbers the rest of the year. I just don't see enough talent on this team offensively. They have had some decent numbers, but one thing too, Archie, these guys haven't played on a short field very often this season. The defense hasn't turned the ball over to them very often on the opposition side of the 50-yard line. So the Saints have put some yardage totals up on the board, but lots of times that's working out of bad field position just so you can comfortably punt the ball away.
Well, you're exactly right, and that's something to look at because, of course, remember 2 years ago when the Saints went through with a good defense, an unbelievable season of just having, 8 interceptions in the course of a 16-game schedule. Came back last year right at the top of the NFL with 29 interceptions, and now it seems like we're going back to the 90 year. The team has a total of 4 interceptions. Gene Atkins had that many in this stadium last year with 1 call back. Officially, he got 3.
All right, we'll pause for these messages, and coming back in a moment, we'll talk with John Pease about the defensive look at these Phoenix Cardinals in a moment on the Saints Network.
These days in business, you have to look at problems as challenges. For instance, they cut my department's travel budget in half and said I had to keep sending out the same number of people. Okay, I accepted the challenge and found a solution. Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free offer. You can buy 1 round-trip ticket at their low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. And friends aren't just spouses and pals. They're bosses and partners and clients, too. There's no advance purchase on a Friends Fly Free ticket either. Just make a reservation at least 24 hours in advance and stay over for one night. By the way, this offer doesn't include local airport taxes up to $12 round trip each. If your plans change at the last minute, Southwest Friends Fly Free tickets are fully refundable. And although seats are limited right now, they're available all week long. Friends Fly Free only on Southwest Airlines. It's the perfect solution to cut your business budget or to turn a short business trip into a long weekend. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
I love it here. It's fantastic.
The President Casino is the class of the coast.
We had a great Las Vegas Easter hot out. Woo!
Southern hospitality is great.
The President Casino at the Broadwater in Biloxi. Open 24 hours every day. Free admission, free parking. Come and go as you please.
Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona, and our pregame show as the Saints get ready to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. John Pease, defensive line coach, our guest. And, John, I'm looking at the stat sheet. I want to know how much the coaches watch opposing teams' stats. This team has allowed more points than any other team in the NFL, and the Saints have been criticized for scoring little points this year, and Phoenix has scored even less total points than have the Saints. Does that mean anything to you?
No. No, really, I don't even look at the league stats. I don't even see how we're ranked. There's only one thing I think is important is that we keep people from scoring. And we look at each individual team, and it's really a week-to-week war, David. We've got to be able to stop their running game. They're a lot like the Redskins, and they've got some big play outside receivers. So we've got to stop the running game and get pressure to their quarterback, and they will protect their quarterback. They'll keep as many guys as they have to protect him. So we have got to work cut out for us.
Well, let's open up the other side of the stat book. The last 2 weeks, this team has scored in the high 20s and in the low 20s, and they have done it against a couple of pretty good ball clubs.
Yeah, they're capable of hitting the home run. Randall Hill is the second fastest player in the National Football League. He's run a 6.17 60 yards, which is a little faster than I can run. And he can really go. And they got guys that can hurt you deep. And Ricky Prowl, they got a Z receiver who's a lot like Eric Martin, not as big, but he's a banger. He catches a ball. He runs through traffic. And they've got some weapons that we've got to really fight to control.
Let's look at a stat that held up until at least last week's ball game when the Rams scored a touchdown on the Saints in the third quarter. What was the second half jinx that you were able to put on the other teams?
I have no idea. We make some little adjustments at halftime, but we don't make any major adjustments in our game plan. We look at what they've done and say, okay, they're doing this, they're trying to do this to us. Let's see if we can make some real slight adjustments in our pass rush and our run defense to help us. And that's basically all we do. There's no big secrets.
I'm wondering if that's a credit to the veteran membership in your defense where they can know these instructions are given at halftime and then take them right back out on the field and do it.
I think you're exactly correct. You get guys you can say, hey, they're trying to catch our pass rush, or they're trying to bounce outside the run, so let's be a little more outside conscious, or let's try to change our rushes with Pat and Ricky and go to some games and some things might get them free. And our guys, they understand what we're trying to get done, and they understand how that happens in the ebb and flow in a game. It makes a difference for us.
How healthy is Jim Wilkes?
97.6%. He's still a little bit it's still a little bit weak, and with the heat out here today, we're just going to roll the guys. There's going to be a lot of people playing. You'll see Les Miller and Pig Goff, and I'm just going to try to keep the horses watered and let them loose.
And of course, the stable is in Phoenix, not St. Louis. I don't know how many times we'll say that today, or at least myself, but it is the Phoenix Cardinals, folks. Although there are probably more football fans in St. Louis at the moment than there are here in Sun Devil Stadium. What about the defense and their play? They tossed the shutout. First touchdown scored against them in the second half since the Philly game last week against the Rams. And we talk about adjustments made. What has been the difference? Ricky Jackson just says when they come back out, they get the attitude that you can't penetrate us, and that's basically what happened.
I just think that they're a solid defense. This is the kind of defense Saints fans have come to expect over the last 3 or 4 years. I think if you look at one difference in it, it's the play of Wayne Martin up front. It's been a while since the Saints, occasionally Frank Warren has shown flashes of that, but it's been a while, Archie, and you can refresh my memory, since the Saints have really had a dominant defensive lineman up there, and Wayne Martin shows signs of being that.
Yes, he really does, and 5 sacks on the year, but just his consistent play. A lot of times a good defensive tackle can play an entire ball game. The coaches say, boy, he played well. He really graded out high, but we didn't call his name a lot. It's just, but Wayne Martin's the type of guy for a defensive interior lineman that's just really shining, and he stands out during the course of a football game, and I think that says a lot. He's an excellent ball player.
Let's pause for these messages. You're listening to New Orleans Saints football.
Hi, this is Wayne Mack. Join me and my pal Renee Nadeau right here after every Saints game on Sports 1280. You know, I've always enjoyed talking about the Saints, and as soon as everybody else has their say about the game, you, Renee, and I will have the last word with your phone calls. In New Orleans, it's 524-1280. Outside New Orleans, toll-free, 1-800-364-1280. Join yours truly, Wayne Mack and Renee Nadeau, and your phone calls as we wrap it all up on Saints Game Day on Sports 1280.
Whatever you choose, you'll save at Shoetown and Put in Fashion's half-price apparel sale. Buy any apparel item at our everyday low price and get the second of equal or lesser value for half price. Got that? Choose any apparel item. Buy one and the second of equal or lesser value is half price at Shoetown and Put in Fashion. Save up to 30% on name brand athletics. Reebok, Converse, Fila, Pony, and Nike. Men, women's, and children's athletics up to 30% off and half price on apparel during our anniversary at Shoetown.
What is your office communication system like? First Communication is the first team in communications. They're ready and able to tune up that out-of-tune communication system you're using now. Let First Communication compose your telephone system and service. It has some very pleasant notes. Listen to how First Communication guards against breakdown. Your present system's high notes compared with First Communication's low notes. Call First Communication at 464-1717 and listen to your telephone communication system perform like a symphony.
Silver Bullet is the right beer now. Brought to you by Coors Light, the crisp tasting beer that's mountains above the rest. Remember to reach for the Silver Bullet when there's no room for filling up. Coors Light,
Sports 1280 AM.
Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona and Sun Devil Stadium. This is the second time the Saints will face an NFC East opponent today. New Orleans has posted an overall mark of 28-54 against the NFC East, 8-11 since Jim Mora took over as head coach in 1986. Overall, the Saints are a little better than 34% against the East. The Saints dropped their first meeting with an East foe this year, 15-13 to the Eagles, the opening game September 6th at Veterans Stadium. The Cardinals, as mentioned, hold a 10-7 advantage in the all-time series, but the Saints have captured the last 2 in a row. Phoenix is 1-4 following that 31-21 loss to the Giants last Sunday in the Meadowlands. Quarterback Chris Chandler has completed 62% of his passes in the backup role, now in the starting role in place of Tim Rosenbaugh, who, by the way, was activated this week. Chandler was 88 of 142 coming into this game with 6 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions and a quarterback rating of 89.2. Wide receivers Ernie Jones and Randall Hill have each caught 20 passes on the year. Jones has amassed 322 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hill has accounted for 312 yards and a touchdown. Archie and Jim, couple of 3 capable people offensively for the Cardinals.
Absolutely. Of course, it's a Washington type of offense, and you're talking about the quarterback situation. A lot of people are predicting a controversy here, Dave, and the fact that Rosenbaugh, drafted a few years ago, played a real good season, injured last year, came back to start this season injured. But Chris Chandler, who's filled in, and many people feel like he's done an outstanding job. And whether or not Rosenbaugh is 100% healthy, he is activated today, but whether he'll be able to regain the quarterback job or not.
All right, coming up in a moment, we'll have the Southwest Airlines starting lineups here on the Saints Network.
Now's your chance to see the most exciting and technically advanced lineup in our history. Introducing Jeep and Eagle from 1993 with innovative new models that will truly amaze and thrill you. See the new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the sophisticated new Eagle Vision. Get into the newly designed Summit Coupe for as little as $7,706 and Summit Sedan for a little more.
Or drive away an affordable, sporty Eagle Talon DL for about $11,652. You could get great deals on every vehicle in stock. So whatever you do, don't miss the 93s at your Jeep and Eagle dealer. MSRP after $500 cashback direct from Chrysler excludes title, taxes, and options. Actual prices may vary. These are limited time offers. Buyer must take delivery from dealer stock. See dealer for details. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation. See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Party Caribbean style at the Isle of Capri Casino, Mississippi's largest. The Isle is always open for non-stop fun and excitement with live entertainment, free admission, and free parking. So come to the Isle of Capri Casino at Point Cadet in Biloxi. It's a tropical paradise. For information, call 1-800-THE-ISLE.
I love the Isle of Capri Casino.
It's Sears Days, our biggest Sears Days ever. Come into Brand Central for great Kenmore values, like this washer-dryer pair. Our large capacity Kenmore washer with 6 cycles and 3 water temperatures is just $279. Matching Kenmore dryer, just $229. That's a $70 savings on the pair, but only until October 24th. So don't miss Sears Days. Prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico.
You can count on me.
Welcome back to Sun Devil Stadium. It's time now for today's starting lineups, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart. 2 inactives today for the New Orleans Saints, both on the offensive side of the football. Backup center Gene McGuire inactive today, and the emergency quarterback is Steve Walsh. Starting on the offense for the Saints, the wide receivers are Eric Martin and Quinn Early. Richard Cooper will start at left tackle. Jim Dombrowski, you heard from earlier, starts at left guard. Joel Hilgenberg at center. Derek Kennard at right guard, and Stan Brock at right tackle. Quarterback is Bobby Hebert. Hebert coming into this ball game, 89 of 157. He's completed a little over 56% of his passes for 1,127 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Vaughn Dunbar gets the start at halfback today. Vaughn has rushed 88 times for 344 yards and a touchdown this year. Craig Hayward gets the start at fullback. Saints on defense, Wayne Martin across the front line along with Jim Wilkes and Frank Warren. Les Miller and Pig Goff also get some playing time, as you heard from Coach John Pease with the heat factor today. Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills, Vaughn Johnson, and Pat Swilling start at linebackers. It's Toy Cook and Reggie Jones at the corners, and Brett Maxey and Gene Atkins at safety. Cardinals offense, Ricky Prohl will start at one wide receiver, Randall Hill at the other, along with Ernie Jones. The tackle is Lewis Sharp on the left side. Mark May is the left guard, Bill Lewis at center, Lance Smith at right guard, and Rick Cunningham at right tackle. Walter Reeves gets the start at tight end. Ivory Lee Brown will start at running back. Chris Chandler gets the start at quarterback. He's 88 of 142 for 1,030 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. The H-back is used. That tight end back is a flanker. It'll be Butch Raleigh or Derek Ware today for the Cardinals. On defense, Eric Swan.
Southwest Airlines, the only airline built to save you time. From the beginning, Southwest Airlines has done things differently to make your business day more productive and efficient. Just take a look at our flight schedule. It's specifically designed around the times you need to fly, with a total of 13 flights to Dallas and 16 to Houston every business day. And Southwest has one of the best on-time records in the industry, so you can get down to business a lot quicker and not waste time or money. Southwest Airlines also serves close-in, uncongested airports like Dallas Love Field and Houston Hobby, saving you time on the road, as well as cab fare. It's really very simple. While all airlines were built to fly you places, only one was built to save you time. Southwest Airlines, the most convenient airline you can fly, with the lowest unrestricted fares. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on the menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
I love it here. It's fantastic.
The President Casino is the class of the coast.
We had a great Las Vegas.
The President Casino at the Broadwater in Biloxi. Open 24 hours every day. Free admission, free parking. Come and go as you please.
Prez.
Welcome back to Sun Devil Stadium. Phoenix won the toss, elected to receive, and will defend the goal to our left, which is to the north. We'll be heading from our left to our right, north to south. We're on the west side looking east here at Sun Devil Stadium. The New Orleans Saints will kick off. It's Morton Anderson to boot the ball in the south side end of the field, 35-yard line. Deep to receive Anthony Edwards and Johnny Bailey. And both are standing one in front of the other to disguise who really wants the ball, but I believe it's Johnny Bailey who the Cardinals would like to receive it. And the football will roll out of bounds through the end zone for a touchback. A perfect kickoff for Morton Anderson as he booted it just in the corner, and it was either going to be out on the one for a flag or through the end zone for the touchback.
Well, I'm not sure in his eyes and the way he hit the ball, it was perfect because he really kind of hit it in the middle, and it was a knuckleball that Johnny Bailey wisely was let roll because it should have gone out of bounds, and it took a good turn and went in the end zone.
Yeah, Johnny Bailey was averaging 28 yards per return. He ripped off a 63-yard return of a kickoff. He's a Plan B acquisition from the Bears. The Cardinals had a lot of Plan B acquisitions over the winter trying to upgrade their talent level markedly. He's been helpful.
If you don't hear a lot of crowd, we'll tell you why in a moment. Wide receiver to the left side is Ernie Jones. In the slot to the left side is Rick Kroll. Quarterback is Chandler with one running back, Johnny Bailey, behind him, and Bailey gets the handoff, jukes a player at the 20-yard line, is hit hard up at about the 23-yard line, about a 3-yard gain before the Saints' Jim Wilkes makes the tackle.
Well, they've had a hard time running the ball this year. They're 25th in the league. Johnny Johnson, who had such a great rookie campaign 3 seasons ago, has really tailed off. He held out for a long time. He's now suffering with somewhat of a chest injury, so he was questionable coming into this. They've really built their attack around Ivory Lee Brown, a huge running back who's 6'2" and 245, but he's only averaging 2.8 yards per carry. So running the football has been a real concern for the Cardinals.
Randall Hill breaks the huddle and splits wide to the left side. Going wide to the right side is Ernie Jones with the slot. Ricky Prohl to the right. The tight end is lined up on the right side. That's Walter Reeves. Only one running back behind Chandler, and that once again is Johnny Bailey. And we have movement on the left side of the Phoenix offensive line. It was Mark May, the left guard, I believe, making the error there on 2nd down and 7 from the 23.
False start. Offense, number 73, prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's the voice of Dick Hantak, the referee for the 5-yard penalty. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Saints football.
Sports 1280 has the New Orleans metro area high school football dream season. You'll hear all the best matchup games all season long on your 24-hour sports station, WQUE-AM 1280, New Orleans.
Go from the 18-yard line, same formation before the penalty on Mark May. Chandler, fake draw play, back to pass, looks over the middle, throws, caught by Bailey at the 23, crosses the 25 up to the 27-yard line before he's wrapped up by a host of Saints defenders, including Sam Mills. That'll be a 9-yard gain from the 23 up to the 29-yard line.
Well, Chandler ran a little play-action pass. There are 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and 1 back in the game for the Cardinals. A little fake to Bailey, then good protection in the pocket. The Saints had dropped into a zone defense, and Chandler just took the safety valve, who was the faking man Bailey, dumped it off to him, and got a nice 9-yard gain.
We'll call it 8 up to the 27. It's 3rd down and 4, the first 3rd down opportunity for Phoenix. Chandler looks at a 4-man defensive front, quick snap, pitch to Bailey, sweeping left, cuts it up, but does not get the first down and is down at the 29-yard line.
Great defense on the part of the Saints. The Cardinals came up, tried to get in kind of a new formation with 3 receivers to the left and run a quick pitch on a quick snap to Bailey left. Outstanding defense there, and the Cardinals will have to punt it away.
4th down and 1 from the 29-yard line, and it's Rich Camarillo who leads the NFL in net average with 38.9 net average. He's averaged 41.1 per punt in 15 punts this year. Back deep to receive for the Saints, Marcus Dowdell at the 25-yard line, the line of scrimmage, the 29. First punt of the ball game. Snap back in good shape. It is a beautiful high spiraling kick. Dowdell retreats to the 15, fumbles the football, picks it up, almost tackled, still on his feet, jukes a player at the 15, and is down right there. Saints dodge a bullet. 56-yard punt.
That was a heck of a punt by Camarillo, who's been a good one for a long time. You can tell that you're not coming off much of a year when your kickers are on the front of your media guy.
Yeah.
And that's what Phoenix has this year with Camarillo and Greg Davis.
So the Saints will take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. And again, as in previous games, not great field position.
No, Dowdell looked like had room to do a little business there. Maybe took his eyes off the ball, a little fumble, and as you mentioned, David, fortunately just to get control of it, and the Saints will retain the football.
5 men are on the defensive line. Bobby Hebert in the I formation with Quinn Early right and Eric Martin to the left. Hayward and Dunbar behind Hebert. Play action, back to pass, to over the middle. It's caught by Martin, 25, up to the 30, first down at the 31-yard line. 15-yard gain, and he was flipped up on the play by Michael Zordich.
Yeah, Aeneas Williams was over there too as well, the New Orleans native who had such a great season last year, sharing the NFC lead with 6 interceptions. The Saints come out with play action. They were telling us before the game, Archie and I down on the field, that they expected the Cardinals to think they would run a lot early, so they intend to go with play action early, and they went to it on the first play of the game there from scrimmage and picked up the first down.
Out of the I once again with 3 wide receivers. One split to the right is Eric Martin. 2 men to the left, that's Carroll and Early. Dunbar dots the I behind Ironhead Hayward. Bobby Hebert under Hilgenberg at center. Fake handoff, back to pass again. He is hit and sacked back to the 24-yard line. And getting up off the pile is Ken Harvey, who is the right side outside linebacker.
Well, Ken Harvey came right around the block of Richard Cooper. You might say lack of blocking on the part of Richard Cooper. Saints once again with a 3 wide receiver, 2 running back set, trying to run a play action pass. Bobby faking to the weak side, immediately setting up, and Harvey just beat Cooper and got to Bobby before he could spot a receiver downfield. That's just the 8th sack of the year, if I'm not mistaken, for the Cardinals.
And only the 8th sack of the season that the Saints have given up.
Ken Harvey, that's his 2nd sack of the year.
-6 on the sack by Harvey. It's 2nd down and 16 from the 25-yard line. 2 wideouts to the left with a man in the slot. Only 1 running back behind Bobby Hebert. Tight end is Brenner on the right side. Handoff goes to Vaughn Dunbar up the middle, and he gains 5 and maybe 6 yards back to about the 31, which was the original line of scrimmage. We'll wait till they unpile to find out. David Braxton makes the tackle.
Well, there's a case of the Saints trying to spread the Cardinals out. Once again, 3 receivers spread out wide in I formation, just trying to find a hole in the middle, and Dunbar picks up about 5.
He does pick up 5 to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 10 yards to go. We'll call it 11 statistically at the 30. First 3rd down opportunity for the Saints. 3 wide receivers to the near side or to the left. That's Early, Martin, and Torrance Small. 1 to the right, that's Wesley Carroll. Dalton Hilliard in the lineup. No tight ends out of the shotgun. 3rd down and 11 from the 30-yard line for the Saints. Man in motion, Hebert to pass out of the shotgun. Pump fakes, looks, throws, caught by Torrance Small. Not enough for the first down at about the 39-yard line, and he is swarmed over by tons of defenders. Leading the tacklers that time, Dave Durison.
Well, great effort on the part of Torrance Small, trying to fight off about 4 or 5 guys and get additional yardage, though. Unsuccessful, and Tommy Barnhart will have to punt it away. The Cardinals had 7 defensive backs in the game on that previous 3rd down play. 4 people were rushing.
1 yard short of the first down, 4th down and 1 from the 40-yard line. Bailey deep to receive for the Cardinals, standing at his own 20-yard line. It'll be Tommy Barnhart to punt for the Saints. Standing at his own 25, the line of scrimmage, the 40. It is a booming kick off the toe of Barnhart, angling toward the end zone, but it hits at the 1 and goes in. So that will be a 60-yard punt off the toe of Tommy Barnhart, and Phoenix will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Oh, that's his longest of the season for Tommy. There is no wind either. That was all leg by Tommy Barnhart, who's really having a good year for the Saints.
Tommy's average is 43.8. That should jump it up over the 44-yard mark. It really is a good average.
1st and 10 for Phoenix at their own 20-yard line. That's where they started the first time. They were 3 and out. Their big play, of course, a penalty on the left side of the offensive line, and an 8-yard pass play to Bailey wasn't enough for a first down. 1st and 10 at the 20. Chris Chandler, the quarterback. Now new running back, Ivory Lee Brown behind Chandler with the man in motion from left to right. That's Butch Roll. Fake handoff. Chandler back to pass. Has time. Throws to the near side sideline. Caught. First down at the 34-yard line. They'll keep the clock rolling. That's Ricky Prohl. A 14-yard gain to the 34, 1st and 10. That's the 2nd first down of the game.
Prohl's a 3rd-year receiver out of Wake Forest. That was a play-action pass, and Chris Chandler even bought himself a little more time. It's a long time for Toy Cook to have to cover someone. It looked like Prohl went down in the 20 or 25-yard range and then ran a comeback. Good throw by Chandler. He's got a great arm.
First down for Phoenix. The Saints had a first down as well. It's 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Slot man in motion from left to right now, and then the H-back, Roll, lines up in the backfield as a flanker. Chandler under center, back to pass on first down. Throws caught by Ivory Lee Brown at the 35-yard line, still running, and is escorted at the 38-yard line out of bounds. They'll mark forward progress there and keep the clock rolling. That's Reginald Jones, who is credited with the tackle after the game from the 34 up to the 38-yard line.
Well, that's Reggie Jones's responsibility on a zone defense, a roll-up zone defense to both sides. If a ball's thrown out in the flat, he comes off, tries to make the tackle. Also, Pat Swilling's out in that area. Good defense. Saints were doubling both of the wide receivers of the Cardinals.
8:04 remaining in the first period. No score. Saints got a first down. Phoenix has one first down on this drive. Saints had to punt. So did the Cardinals on their first drive. Randall Hill splits wide to the left side. Three men split to the right. One of them is Walter Reeves, lined up as the H-back, tight end in the backfield, along with two others on the right side. It's a draw play to Bailey in the backfield. He crosses the 40-yard line, and he's stopped short right there by Vaughn Johnson at the 41. It'll be a gain from the 38 to the 41. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for Phoenix at the 41-yard line.
Good reaction on the part of the Saints inside linebackers, Vaughn Johnson and Sam Mills, reacting to that draw play. Saints stayed with their 3-4 alignment. By that, of course, the Saints are playing 3 linemen, their 4 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs on first down today, and many times they'll make substitutions to a nickel on second. Thus far today, the Saints have stayed with their 3-4 on the first 2 downs. Now there's substitutions made on a 3rd and 3.
3rd down and 3 from the 41. Cardinals are 0 for 1 on 3rd down conversions. Randall Hill split wide to the left. Bailey is the flanker to the left. Flanker on the right is Ricky Prohl, with the wide receiver split to the right side, Ernie Jones. Under center, Chandler gets the snap, drops back to pass, stands at his own 32, throws in the flat. It is caught. They do call it a reception at the 43-yard line. Johnny Bailey out of the backfield in Saints territory now at the 43, makes the reception.
Well, Chris Chandler made a real good throw there, but Brad Maxey's going to be mad at himself. That was a case of the back coming out of the backfield and not running a 5 or 7 yard route, but taking it to the corner in the 17 and 18 yard range. That's too far for Sam Mills to try to cover him downfield, but Brett Maxey should react to that from his zone position at the safety, and he was just one step slow. Good throw, good catch, and a big first down.
17-yard reception to Bailey. It's 1st down and 10 at the Saints' 42-yard line. The football just downfield from the 43. Chandler under center with the man in motion from left to right. That's Ernie Jones. Long signal count. Handoff goes straight away to Ivory Lee Brown, and he's hit in the backfield and is dropped. The line of scrimmage was the 42, and he'll be swarmed under for a loss on the play. Getting up off the stack is Vaughn Johnson and Pat Swilling, along with Wayne Martin and others.
I don't think you're going to see the Cardinals have much success running the ball all day long with the personnel that they've got and also the line up in front. It's going to have to be Chandler going to the air. The offensive line of the Cardinals has really been in a state of flux primarily because they traded Derek Kennard last year. They've tried a lot of people at that left guard position and a lot of combinations without a great deal of success. Finally, they've had to settle on 12th-year man Mark May, the former Hog who worked under Joe Bugle in Washington, picked up on Plan B in the offseason.
Wilkes came out, so did Johnson, another defensive back in there for the Saints. 2 wide receivers to the right and 1 to the left. The tight end is lined up on the right side. Walter Reeves on 2nd down and 11. Handoff to Bailey, goes left, is swarmed right at the line of scrimmage, and he may have lost a yard. Back to the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Sam Mills and a host of others in the running game. Cannot get off the launching pad.
Yeah, Frank Warren also out there along with Sam Mills, Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling. Excellent pursuit on the part of the Saints defense. We mentioned the running game of the Cardinals. They're averaging less than 4 yards per carry as a team this year.
It is a loss of 1 back to the 44. It's 3rd down and 12 on 2 running plays. Losses of a yard each. Cardinals are 1 for 2 on 3rd down conversions.
Saints came up with some big turnovers, 5 interceptions in the game against the Cardinals last year.
Randall Hill wide to the left. Bailey is in the flanker position to the left with 2 receivers to the right. One-man Prohl now lines up on a flanker on the right under center. Chandler back to pass on 3rd down and long, throws over the middle, and it's caught by Randall Hill at the 30-yard line. A 15-yard gain and a first down for the Phoenix receiver.
Well, you could say that Reggie Jones got to cover Randall Hill a little tighter, but I really think the Saints have got to get a little better pass rush. 3rd and 12. Saints actually came with a blitz. Man-to-man coverage in the secondary, but Chris Chandler had all day to just stand there and throw that break, about a 15-yard break-in route. He really hadn't been pressured thus far today.
15-yard gain down to the 29-yard line in Saints territory, moving from our left to our right, from the north to the south, although no breeze to speak of here at Sun Devil Stadium today, and a very sparse crowd watching the Cardinals and the Saints play here on the floor of this beautiful stadium. Chandler under center on 1st and 10 from the Saints' 29-yard line. Ware is in motion out of the H-back position. Handoff goes to Ivory Lee Brown, and he finds a little bit of running room, sneaking his way from the 29 down to about the 26-yard line.
I'm like you, Jim. I just don't think that running game or those draw plays are going to have a lot of success today.
Yeah, I think their big running back is hurt, too, it looks like.
Yes, he is.
That's Ivory Lee Brown, who's lying on his side down there at the 28-yard line. He led the World League last year in rushing when he played for San Antonio with a 4.7 yard per carry average and 726 yards on the season. But he looks to be in some pain now as he continues to lie down there inside the 30-yard line.
Each week during the season, Archie, Jim, and I select the outstanding tackle of the game by a Saints player, and in recognition of the player's big hit, Popeyes will donate $500 to his favorite local charity for the Popeyes Pop of the Game. Popeyes is proud to be able to recognize an outstanding individual effort and help out the community with this weekly donation to a deserving institution. Tune in each game for our Popeyes Pop of the Game selection, brought to you by your local Popeyes famous fried chicken and biscuits. There's timeout, 3:33 remaining in the first period of play. We have no score. You're listening to Saints football. Now here's Archie.
Look, I know when something's right, and I want to tell you right now, you can get the right deal on the right car from Royal Mazda, the right dealership. My wife even drives a new Mazda from Royal, the dealership that's different.
Listen to the Archie Manning Monday Morning Quarterback Show every Monday morning, 7 till 8:30 on the home of the Saints, Sports 1280. Join Dave Garrett, the voice of the Saints, and All-American All-Pro Archie Manning at Stonebreaker's Restaurant on Edenborn behind Schwegman's Off Veterans. A continental breakfast will be available, and you can put your 2 cents worth in about the Saints and their opponents. Audience participation, call-in, and prizes, all on the Archie Manning Monday Morning Quarterback Show every Monday morning, 7 to 8:30, exclusively on Sports 1280. Whatever you choose, you'll save at Shoetown and Put in Fashion's half-price apparel sale. Buy any apparel item at our everyday low price and get the second of equal or lesser value for half price. Got that? Choose any apparel item. Buy one, and the second of equal or lesser value is half price at Shoetown and Put in Fashion. Save up to 30% on name brand athletics, Reebok, Converse, Fila, Pony, and Nike. Men's, women's, and children's athletics up to 30% off and half price on apparel during our anniversary at Shoetown.
Looks like he's going to be out of the game.
If you just got put on injured reserve or want to stay in the game, the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital can help. A full range of medical professionals are trained to treat everyone from pro athletes, weekend warriors, or Little League champs. The Sports Medicine team can show you how to overcome existing injuries or prevent new ones using modern fitness equipment and medical technology, from sprained ankles to the most complicated injuries. The Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital. Call 885-FITT. That's 885-3488.
All sports, all day.
Welcome back to Sun Devil Stadium. Ivory Lee Brown has been helped off the field. It appears his injury is not a slight one. We'll monitor that and pass the information along. It was a game from the 29 down to the 26. Second down and 7 at the 26-yard line. Phoenix in Saints territory, and quarterback Chris Chandler did not like the defense that he was looking at. A man was in motion, so he raised up and called the timeout. We'll pause for these messages. 3:08 remaining in the first period of play. Second down and 7 when we come back. No score. Cardinals with the football. Now this for your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers and Sears Brand Central.
Now's your chance to see the most exciting and technically advanced lineup in our history. Introducing Jeep and Eagle for 1993 with innovative new models that will truly amaze and thrill you. See the new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the sophisticated new Eagle Vision. Get a classically rugged two-door, two-wheel drive Jeep Cherokee Sport for as little as $14,335. Or buy an American original, the fun-loving Jeep Wrangler, starting as low as $10,910. You could get great deals on every vehicle in stock. So whatever you do, don't miss the 93s at your Jeep and Eagle dealer. MSRP after $500 cash back direct from Chrysler. Excludes title, taxes, and options. Actual prices may vary. These are limited time offers. Buyer must take delivery from dealer stock. See dealer for details. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
It's Sears Days, our biggest Sears Days ever. Come into Brand Central for great Kenmore values, like this washer-dryer pair. Our large capacity Kenmore washer with 6 cycles and 3 water temperatures is just $279. Matching Kenmore dryer, just $229. That's a $70 savings on the pair, but only until October 24th, so don't miss Sears Days. Prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico.
You can count on me.
Welcome back to Sun Devil Stadium. No score. Cardinals with the football here in the first quarter. When the Saints wanted a little home cooking for the home team, they chose Popeyes. because when it comes to feeding a hungry bunch of Saints, nobody beats the chicken, biscuits, and sides at Popeyes, a proud member of the Saints official training table. This game also brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With frequent flights and the lowest unrestricted fares, Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart. For reservations, call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. After Phoenix burns the timeout, it's 2nd down and 7 from the 26-yard line. Man in motion, Ernie Jones from right to left with flankers to either side. Chandler under center, back to pass. Lobs one to his tight end. There's some bumping going on at the 7-yard line. Incomplete, intended for Walter Reeves. Gene Atkins defending, but it goes as incomplete.
Chris Chandler's first incompletion of the day. Prior to that throw, he was 5 for 5 for 60 yards. And I might add, really, the first time that the Saints have got a little pressure on him in this game.
Yeah, and if you want him to go to the air, Reeves is the guy you want him to go to. He's really not much of a receiver at all. A far better blocker as a tight end than he is a receiver. Fourth-year man out of Auburn, only had 2 catches for 7 yards coming into this game. You know, with the injury to Ivory Lee Brown now, Johnny Johnson inactive, the Cardinals are down to 2 running backs, Johnny Bailey and Larry Centers.
And they're both in the game right now.
And the word from the bench is Brown has strained ligaments in his right knee, and his status at this time is unknown. Out of the shotgun, the Saints may have jumped off sides. They did. Free play, screen pass, complete over the middle to Larry Centers, the receiver, and he gains across the 25 down to the 21-yard line before Brett Maxey makes the tackle. It's a 5-yard gain, but again, a free down most likely.
Yeah, it looked like Ricky just jumped across the line prior to the snap of the ball. Centers is a popular guy in the passing game for them. Prior to today, 19 catches, 142 yards. Used primarily out of the backfield on 3rd down.
Well, the gain went down to the 20-yard line on 3rd down and 7. They'll have a free down if they take the penalty.
Defense, number 57, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down, 3rd down.
The voice of Dick Hantack, the referee in today's crew. So it will still be a 3rd down play, but only 2 yards to go now at the 22-yard line. A proud sponsor of Saints Radio is Isle of Capri in Biloxi. For Caribbean-style fun and games, it's Isle of Capri.
Is that a new sponsor? Are you paying off a debt or something?
That's a new sponsor, Jim, of course.
Good.
No debts.
Glad to have it.
We have 2 flankers to the left and a man in motion from left to right and then back to the left. That's Ernie Jones. Chandler back to pass under center on 3rd and 2. He lobs one for the end zone for Hill. It's overthrown and incomplete, but we have a flag in the end zone and most likely interference on the Saints.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Spencer, I believe, down there who was being beaten on that play. From up here, at least, it looked like that was a good call.
Well, I think there was contact. I really thought Hill initially.
Defense, number 37, foul in the end zone by rule. The ball will be placed on the 1-yard line.
Jim Mora was remarking about this in our pregame talk with him, David. He said the Cardinals have had a lot of luck this year throwing the ball downfield and getting interference calls against them. He said you'll probably see the ball thrown more vertically by the Cardinals than anybody we've faced so far, and it just paid off there for the 1st and goal at the 1-yard line after the interference against Spencer in the end zone.
I really thought Randall Hill was pushing on him early, and then Spencer, though, did make contact while the ball was in the air.
2:30 remaining here in the first period of play. 1st and goal from the 1. The H-back in motion. Handoff goes to Bailey. Dives in the end zone for the touchdown. Phoenix is on the scoreboard 6-0 with Greg Davis on to try the point after.
Well, Johnny Bailey's first touchdown of the year, first touchdown as a Phoenix Cardinal.
And Phoenix will attempt the extra point in the end zone to our right, the south end zone, leading this game. After the pass interference call in the end zone on Jimmy Spencer. Holding will be the starting quarterback, Chris Chandler. Davis is 11 of 11 on point afters. The extra point coming after the 1-yard touchdown plunge by Bailey. The snap in good shape, ball down, kick in the air, it's good. Timeout on the field. 2:27 remaining in the first period of play. Phoenix leads the Saints by a score of 7-0. You're listening to New Orleans Saints football.
Sports 1280 and your chance to talk to the president and general manager of the New Orleans Saints, Jim Finks, live from Stonebreaker's Restaurant every Wednesday evening at 6:30 with phone calls and audience input. The Jim Finks Show every Wednesday evening at 6:30 on Sports 1280.
What can you buy for $9.95 these days?
We deliver.
Quite a lot. With express mail overnight delivery service from your post office. For less than $10, you put the full power of the United States Postal Service to work for you. Over 700,000 men and women ready to do whatever it takes to assure next morning delivery. Express mail service, just $9.95 for up to 8 ounces. Sponsored by your postal service.
The Silver Bullet is the right beer now. Brought to you by Coors Light, the crisp tasting beer that's mountains above the rest. Remember to reach for the Silver Bullet when there's no room for filling up. Coors Light. On select models includes rebates with approved credit, tax, title, license not included. Dealer participation may affect final price ranking according to Chrysler Corp. See dealer for details. Car buyers, Ray Brand Dodge, the dealer that brought you buy one, get one free, is back. Now, Ray Brand Dodge presents zero down, 2.5% financing, and no payment till 93. Put zero down on a 92 conversion van, get 2.5% financing, and make no payment till 93. 1660 West Bank Expressway, Harvey. There's only room in this town for one Dodge dealer, Ray Brand Dodge. The rest, get out of Dodge.
Sports 1280.
Johnny Bailey's one-yard touchdown run caps a 10-play, 80-yard drive that was helped by receptions by Prohl of 14 yards, Bailey of 17 yards, Hill of 15, a pass interference call in the end zone, and then Bailey's plunge. 80 yards, 10 plays, 2:27 remaining first period. Phoenix leads 7-0 with Greg Davis to kick off. Fred McAfee and Dalton Hilliard stand right on the goal line for the Saints, and it's a low knuckleball wobbly kick. It will be taken by McAfee at the 3, to the 5, up to the 10, to the 15, tries to get outside, cuts up on a blocker and gains to the 20-yard line. Saints will have it 1st and 10 at the 20, a 17-yard return. Saints' second offensive possession, they picked up a first down on their first possession with a 16-yard pass to Martin. Hebert was sacked. The Saints couldn't crawl out of a hole and had to punt it away.
Need the return today. The punt, of course, fumbled earlier by Dowdell and recovered. Now this kickoff return looks like Fred McAfee kind of left the middle of the field, tried to get wide, and didn't get the 20-yard line. It's been impressive. What was impressive was that 10-play, 80-yard drive on the part of the Cardinals.
Eric Martin wide to the left. In the slot is Hobie Brenner to the left side. Tight end is Frank Wainwright on the right. Brenner's in motion left to right. Handoff goes to Dunbar. He has to juke in the backfield, and he's dropped for a loss back at the 18, a 2-yard loss. 2nd down and 12 coming up.
Looked like Tyrone Stowe making the tackle from his left inside linebacking position. He's a former high school teammate of Ironhead Hayward. In fact, he blocked for Hayward as the fullback in the backfield at Passaic, New Jersey High School.
Loss back to the 18. It's 2nd down and 12 yards to go with 1:49 remaining here in the first period, and Phoenix leading by a score of 7-0. Martin splits wide to the right now. 2 wide receivers to the left, Torrance Small and Quinn Early, in the I formation behind Bobby Hebert. Craig Hayward and Vaughn Dunbar. Hebert under center. 4-man defensive front for Phoenix. Quick handoff to Hayward, running room, 20, up to the 25, runs over a player and gets the first down to the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. Craig Hayward on the 13-yard run.
That's one of the things the Saints intended to do, was to run against the Cardinal nickel package early. They had their nickel backs in there that time in a 5 defensive back formation, and Hayward had a lot of running room and dragged some of those smaller tacklers with him as he's picked up the first down.
Hayward's 13-yard run. It's 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Second first down in the ball game for the Saints. 2 wideouts to the right, split back formation. Dunbar and Hayward behind quarterback Bobby Hebert on this play. From the 31-yard line, man in motion, Quinn Early from the right to the left. Handoff straight away to Vaughn Dunbar, and he is blistered right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle on the play made by Tyrone Stowe.
Well, he really read it, too. He just shot in that hole. And it was a really good tackle on Dunbar by Tyrone Stowe, 6'1", 247. Another one of those Plan B acquisitions we mentioned. He came over after the 91 season from the Steelers.
-1 on the play from the 31 back to the 30. It's 2nd down and 11 yards to go. And that 13-yard run by Hayward was the longest this year by the Saints fullback. His previous long was 10 yards. 2 wideouts to the left. The man in the slot is Eric Martin. Quinn Early wide to the left. Torrance Ball wide to the right. Hebert fake handoff, back to pass, throws over the middle. It's caught by Eric Martin. First down at the 46-yard line.
Well, we ought to make mention of the fact Eric caught one earlier, and with that catch, he had beaten Danny Abramowitz's old record at 79 straight games receiving a football, and now he is at 80, and that's a new Saints record. He's also got another record within his grasp. He has 43 touchdowns, and that's tied with Dalton Hilliard for the career record among the Saints scorers.
And with that catch, the clock expires here in the first period. The Saints pick up their 3rd first down of the game. Proud sponsors of Saints Radio, your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers. Remember, There's only one Jeep. Into the first period, it's Phoenix 7 and the New Orleans Saints nothing. Now this for BC Powders.
Power, BC Power.
When your job gives you a powerful headache, you need the power of BC.
Power, BC Power.
In this auto body shop, you get a headache just walking in the door.
BC Power in the powder. The power of BC.
Somebody's hammering out dents over here or running the grinder over there. So there's always noise.
BC Power in the powder. The power of BC.
Then on top of that, there's fumes. Pretty soon your head starts pounding like a sledgehammer.
You need something to see you through. Something strong so you feel like new.
Around here, there's headaches just looking for a place to happen. But BC knocks them right out.
BC Power in the powder. The power of BC.
When you need strong relief, BC stops pain fast.
The power of BC.
Use as directed.
7-0 Phoenix. We get ready for the second period of play. If you've been putting off your car's oil change, do it now. Today's 4- and 6-cylinder cars are really tough on motor oils. Drive into Ryan Chevrolet and Imports in Monroe, Louisiana, and get a complete Castrol GTX oil change. The job will be done fast and done right using Castrol. Spruce up your car's engine at Ryan Chevrolet and Imports, Monroe, Louisiana. Saints will have it 1st and 10 at the 46 after the 16-yard pass from Bobby Hebert to Eric Martin. Saints have not gone to third down on this drive. They picked up their third first down with that pass reception.
That was really a nice play-action move on the part of Bobby Hebert. And vintage Eric Martin catch, just bringing it in right before two people hit him.
High formation, Martin to the right. Early and Torrance Small to the left. Bobby Hebert under center. From the 46-yard line, moving from our left to the right, from the north to the south. Hand off to Dunbar. Had a crack for a moment. Gains from the 46, 4 yards up close to the midfield stripe. It'll be second down and about 6 for the Saints.
Ken Harvey on the tackle. Harvey very active today. Good football player, former #1 draft choice. Good rusher, plays much like Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling, an outside linebacker on first down, goes to a rushing defensive end position on third down for the Cardinals. Freddie Joe Nunn, their other outside linebacker, is also a good pass rusher. He's not playing very much today. He's had a groin injury. He's been replaced by Jock Jones, third-year player out of Virginia Tech.
Where's Freddie Joe Nunn from?
Ole Miss, I think.
It was a 3-yard gain, second down 7 at the 49-yard line. Cardinals have 5 men on the defensive line of scrimmage. A flanker is Martin to the right, man in motion early from left to right out of his slot left. Hebert back to pass on first down. It's over the middle, throws, and it skips on the ground short of Torrance Small at the 40-yard line, incomplete. Third down and 7.
Bobby wanted to go to his strong side, actually had pretty good protection, looked that way for quite a while, could not find anyone open, then wheeled and wanted to throw the backside to Torrance Small on a crossing route, just threw way behind him.
49ers on top of the Falcons early, 14-0. New England leads Miami 10-0 in the second quarter, an 0-5 team against the unbeaten Dolphins.
Tommy Hodgson getting his first start in a couple of years for the Patriots today.
When Early splits wide to the left, Eric Martin in the slot to the left, Small and Carroll to the right. Third down and 7 from the 49-yard line. Saints are 0 for 1 on third down conversions. Wesley Carroll in motion from right to left. Hilliard in the backfield along with Hebert. Out of the shotgun, back to pass, looks, has plenty of time, runs to his right, now is being hit, stiff arms a player, reverses to the 30, gets another block, throws it long down the field to Eric Martin, and it's incomplete. A flag on the play at the 35. This might be against the Saints. The pass is incomplete.
Well, you don't often see that from Bobby. You don't see him scramble from sideline to sideline, but he was in all sorts of trouble there and was lucky to get rid of that ball with 3 of the Cardinals burying him as he threw.
You're exactly right. Bobby was in real trouble scrambling to his right side, but it was...
On the pass, defense, number 35. First down.
Well, we saw Eric Martin shove, first of all, but then the last shove may have been caught by the Cardinals.
That's Aeneas Williams.
That's Aeneas Williams, fine cornerback, second-year player. Yeah, I think Eric did a great job of acting right there. He may have been held for some time because it was a long play. They were both shoving some, but when the official was looking, Eric was doing quite an acting job and really bailed the Saints and Bobby Hebert out of a tough jam.
Automatic first down and 10 from the 37-yard line after the pass interference. Remember, a pass interference on the Saints set up Phoenix first touchdown. 7-0 Cardinals. First and 10, 37-yard line in Phoenix territory. 2 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right out of the I formation for the Saints this time. with no tight ends in the lineup. Handoff goes to Dunbar, trying to go left, cuts behind one blocker, and gains from the 37 down to maybe the 36-yard line. We'll wait and read.
Not much there up front. Of course, the Cardinals made some changes in their defensive line for today's game. Second-year player Eric Swan getting his first start at the left end spot over Jeff Faulkner. Michael Bankston starting at nose guard, and they released veteran Jim Waller, and also a new player, Reuben Davis, will be backing him up. He was acquired recently from the Bucks.
It's a 1-yard gain, 2nd down and 9 from the 36-yard line. Split backs now behind Hebert. It's Hayward and Dunbar, with Martin to the right and Early to the left. Tight end is Hobie Brenner, lined up on the left side. 4-man defensive front. Handoff goes to Hayward over right tackle, and he gains maybe a yard to the 34.
Well, one thing the Cardinals have done, Archie, you mentioned with the new personnel in there, they've done a better job stopping the Saints' run, certainly than they did last week. They could hardly do worse. When they played the Giants last week, the Giants went on 3 scoring drives in which they ran the ball 14 times in 16 plays and averaged 6.5 yards per carry. Joe Bugel said after the game, our defense got blacktopped.
Giants did roll up 260 yards against the Cardinals. Saints are having a tough time running it, though. That was just a normal backfield. Cardinals in 3-4 alignment, playing double zone in their secondary.
2 flankers to the left. A slot and a wide out to the right. Bolton Hilliard with Bobby Hebert out of the shotgun. On 3rd and 7 from the 34, Saints are 1 of 2 on 3rd down conversions. Helped on 1 by a pass interference. Snap back to Hebert, throws over the head and incomplete. Intended downfield for Quinn Early, incomplete at the 15-yard line. Saints will have to punt it away.
Well, the Saints tried to flood the left side, put a man in motion, and put 3 receivers to that side, just trying to flood the zone over there. Quinn Early broke to the corner, like he was open. Bobby threw it way over his head.
Well, with the thin air here, of course, Morton Anderson will be in to attempt the field goal. So no punt made, and Anderson will be lining up at about the 42-yard line. So it'll be a 52-yard field goal attempt for Morton Anderson. The football is right in the middle of the field. 52-yard field goal attempt by Morton Anderson, with the Saints trailing 7-0. 12:23 remaining first half. Hilgenberg with the snap, ball down, kick in the air. It's long enough. He hit it. A 52-yard field goal.
That makes Morton Anderson 9 for 13 on the year, and I believe that's his 19th field goal for his career over 50 yards, which that puts him ahead of Nick Lowry, and that's the most field goals by anyone that's ever kicked over 50 yards.
All right, with timeout, we'll pause for these network messages. 12:18 remaining in the first half of play. It's the Cardinals 7 and the Saints 3. You're listening to the Saints Network. 7-3, Phoenix over the Saints. Experience the perfect steak we're talking about. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, home of serious steaks, where your steak is U.S. prime, corn-fed, Midwestern beef, cut by hand daily and served sizzling. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, now the #1 prime steakhouse in the country, with 32 locations coast to coast. Here's Morton Anderson's kickoff from the left to the right. It'll be taken 3 yards deep by Bailey in the end zone. Crosses the goal line to the 5, up to the 10, 15, and he's down at about the 22-yard line.
Pretty good coverage on the part of the Saints kickoff coverage team. I stand corrected. I was recounting all Morton's 50-yard field goals in my head here. That was actually his 20th. He hit the 19th in an earlier game this year. 20 times over 50 that he's kicked a field goal over 50 yards. Amazing.
That caps the 10-play, 46-yard drive that stalled at the 34, and then Anderson boots the 52-yarder to make it 7-3. Phoenix back on the offense, first down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Chandler, the quarterback, gets the start today.
In fact, the Saints are 1 short. I think they're going to start this drive maybe in a nickel defense.
Jimmy Spencer just came out from the sideline.
Bailey, the only running back in the 1-back offense, with 2 wideouts to the right and 1 to the left. Now a man in motion. That man in motion is Ernie Jones. Chandler back to pass on first down. Drops one off to Bailey on the screen. Crosses the 20, 25 to the 30. First down at the 32-yard line. 12-yard gain.
Archie, they've been in that formation quite a bit. That's a formation where they don't really have any running back to give the ball to, do they?
Exactly right. There's a running back there, but he's just split out so wide you can't believe there's no way you could get any kind of running play to him unless there's a quick pitch or something. So it's definitely a passing formation. Now the Saints recognize that because even though they had some linemen out on the field right at the end, they sent in some additional people and went to a nickel defense there. So they were expecting pass. It was just a well-executed screen play.
Correct to 11-yard pass on the screen to Bailey. It's 1st and 10 at the 32, the 6th first down of the ball game for Phoenix. There's a slot on the right. That's Ricky Prohl with the wide out to the right. That's Ernie Jones and 1 wide receiver to the left. Handoff goes to Sitters at the 30-yard line. He jukes a player and then falls forward to about the 35. He may cross the 35 to the 36. A pretty good recovery run by Larry Sitters, a third-year player out of Stephen F. Austin, fifth-round draft choice back in 1990. Ronaldo Turnbull makes the tackle.
Yeah, there was nothing there. That was all Centers, who found no running room and then reversed his field and was able to dive forward up to the 35-yard line, a 3-yard gain. Not much, but it would have been a lot worse than that without his own individual effort.
Well, once again, the Saints are playing a nickel defense on first down, much like they do against the 49ers and the Lions, something they didn't start in the beginning of the game against the Cardinals.
4-yard gain up to the 36-yard line. It's second down, 6 yards to go, a long 6. 3 flankers on the right side and 1 on the left. Chandler under center. Only 1 running back. Centers behind him. It's a draw play to Centers. He crosses the 35, gets up to the 40, to the 41-yard line. Not close enough for a first down before he is stopped by the Saints defense led by Sam Mills.
Once again, though, pretty good effort on the part of Larry Centers. Just 4 carries thus before today's game. Draw play out of a passing formation. Ronaldo Turnbull in the game on this series for Ricky Jackson at his left defensive end spot. Of course, Ricky voiced his displeasure this week about being substituted for at times during the course of the game.
5-yard gain, third down and 1 from the 41-yard line. We'll go with an H-back on the right side, and this time that will be Derek Ware. The tight end on the left and the right. Handoff goes, fakes to Centers, back to pass. Chandler throws a long pass down the field. It's overthrown and incomplete, but there's a flag on the play. It was
against Jimmy Spencer that allowed the Cardinals to pick up a 1-yard touchdown, and now this one will be inside the 10-yard line.
That one called on Reggie Jones.
Defensive pass interference, number 27, first down.
A big, costly blow, and will count up the penalty yardage, what that would be, as the 7th first down is recorded.
Well, it'll be first and goal. I just didn't see the interference on that play. It was a good call. Chandler well protected, really threw a clothesline throw down there about 50, 55 yards in the air. I thought Reggie Jones was running right with Edwards.
It looks like a 50-yard penalty. With the pass interference, and it's first and goal. Phoenix knocking on the door, leading 7-3 here in the second period of play. H-back, Ware in motion from right to left. The handoff goes to Centers, sweeping to the left. He cuts up at the 10, gains a couple of yards down to the 7, maybe the 6-yard line, before he's wrapped up there by a host of Saints.
Good pursuit by Les Miller, who chased that play down from behind, hustling all the way across the field to get in on the tackle.
2-yard gain at second and goal at the 7-yard line. Pass interference on Spencer and 1 on Reggie Jones. Ended up being about a 50-yard penalty, or right at 50 yards with the pass interference.
Multiple substitutions on the part of the Cardinals. Looks like they'll be putting their 3 wide receivers set back in, so the Saints make a number of substitutions, probably coming once again with their nickel defense.
Cole and Randall Hill split wide to the left. Ernie Jones split to the right. Only 1 running back, Bailey, behind quarterback Chandler. Prohl in motion now across the formation and then reverses. Chandler back to pass, looks to the end zone, throws it to touchdown. Caught by Anthony Edwards.
Actually,
it's Ernie Jones who makes the catch.
Well, it was a great throw by Chris Chandler. Jones was the sole receiver out on the right side. It was just a slant pattern, and coverage provided by Reggie Jones. He got 1 step inside on Jones, and boy, Chandler's got a strong arm. He really rifled that one in there.
Saints were coming with a blitz. It looked like it was Sam Mills coming up the middle, but he was picked up. Chandler's really been well protected today. He doesn't look like the same quarterback the Saints saw last year in both a Buccaneer and a Cardinal uniform when he was getting harassed all the time by the Saints pass rush.
It's amazing what protection will do to the confidence of a quarterback.
5 plays, 79 yards. Greg Davis's extra point kick is up and good, and the Saints are in a hole here in the first half. 8:45 remaining in the first half. It's the Cardinals 14 and the Saints 3, and you're listening to Saints football.
On Sports 1280, you can talk to the always unpredictable Mr. Saints, Archie Manning, every Monday morning at 7, live from Stonebreaker's Restaurant at breakfast time. Call or be in the audience for the Archie Manning Monday Morning Quarterback Show, 7 a.m. on Sports 1280. What is your office communication system like? First Communication is the first team in communications. They're ready and able to tune up that out-of-tune communication system you're using now. Let First Communication compose your telephone system and service. It has some very pleasant notes. Listen to how First Communication guards against breakdown. Your present system's high notes compared with First Communication's low notes. Call First Communication at 464-1717 and listen to your telephone communication system perform like a symphony. Sometimes you need to take time out and listen to some music. When that happens, turn to our sister station, Continuous Music, Q93.3 FM. Q93.3 FM has 100,000 watts of power, jamming New Orleans Saints football into your radios all over Louisiana. In addition, you hear Coach Jim Mora, Archie Manning, Jim Henderson, and Dave Garrett. We are the only two radio stations in New Orleans where you hear New Orleans Saints football. The 100,000-watt Saints blowtorch, Q93.3 FM and Sports 1280.
In New Orleans, there will always be snowball stands in the summertime. You can depend on it. And since 1883, New Orleans has depended on the Whitney National Bank. In a time when the financial stability of your bank is more important than ever before, more and more people depend on the Whitney. Our dedication to customer service and personal banking relationships has remained uninterrupted for more than 100 years. Stable, competitive, personal, the Whitney. With 32 Metro New Orleans locations to serve you. Member FDIC. Sports 1280.
8:45 first half, 14-3. Cardinals lead. 5 plays, 79 yards. Chandler's 7-yard pass to Ernie Jones, good for the touchdown. Receiving for the Saints will be Fred McAfee and Dalton Hilliard. Reminding you to come in to any participating Popeyes and pick up the official 92 Saints bumper sticker with the coupon, the Saints schedule, and a Saints Super Sweepstakes entry form from your friends at the Saints Network and Popeyes. Here's Davis on the kickoff from the 35. It is a high end over end kick, and it goes over the head of Dalton Hilliard. He catches it 9 yards deep in the end zone and will not return it. Will be 1st and 10 Saints at the 20. Saints in a hole, 14-3 here first half. Johnny Bailey on a 1-yard touchdown run, and Chandler's 7-yard pass to Ernie Jones. It's 14-3, 8:40 remaining first half, and now this for Ford Quality Care and Pennzoil available at Walmart.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
How do I pick my number?
The number of chocolate chip cookies I bake every day.
I use my girlfriend's area code.
Wherever you get your numbers from, you can win $500 with Pick 3. And it couldn't be easier to play. All you have to do is pick 3 numbers between 0 and 9. Then watch the drawings every night at 9:59. So play Pick 3. And remember, it doesn't matter where you get your numbers from.
I use my height, 5'11".
I just let the computer pick them.
Pick 3. Play every day, get lucky every night.
For the most fun, let the good times roll at the Class of the Coast, the President Casino at the Broadwater Beach Resort in Biloxi. Free admission, plenty of free parking, and we're open 24 hours a day, every day. Las Vegas-style fun. Come and go as you please. The President Casino at the Broadwater in Biloxi. 1-800-THE-PRES.
Welcome back to Sun Devil Stadium, proud sponsor of Saints Radio, Sears Brand Central, the brand you want at the store you trust. 8:40 remaining first half, 14-3. The Saints trailing with the football at their own 20-yard line. They've started at the 15 and the 20 in their 2 previous offensive possessions.
And if the Saints are to win this game, they'll have to have scored more points than they have out of 5 of the 6 games played thus far.
Frank Wainwright on the flanker to the left with Hobie Brenner, the tight end on the left. Martin and Early split to the right. Vaughn Dunbar, the only back behind Hebert. In motion is Wainwright from left to right. Fake handoff, play action. Hebert throws over the middle. It's caught by Martin at the 37, up to the 40, to the 42-yard line. A gain of 22 yards and a first down for Eric Martin and the Saints. They may mark it upfield to the 43.
On the part of the Saints, a perfectly executed play. Eric Martin in motion, then runs. They flood the zone to the right side. He's the intermediate man, throwing it right between the defenders. Good throw by Bobby Hebert. Bobby is 4 for 7 on the day now.
That one a 22-yard pass to Eric Martin. Only the 5th Saints first down of the ball game. Phoenix has 8 first downs thus far. 2 wide receivers to the left. Dunbar, the only running back behind quarterback Hebert with tight ends on either side. Man in motion early out of the slot on the left to the right side. Hebert back to pass, throws over the middle. Caught by Wainwright. First down in Phoenix territory at the 36-yard line. A 23-yard pass to Frank Wainwright, and he caught with the tips of his fingers.
Well, the Saints caught the perfect defense there. Possibly, I think they're trying to do some things on motion today to try to confuse the Cardinals. That time with the motion, the Cardinals adjusted and went to a double zone defense where they roll up on the outside receivers. It's vulnerable versus the tight end down the middle, and that's exactly where the Saints sent Frank Wainwright.
First down and 10 for the Saints at the 36-yard line in Phoenix territory. Early and Torrance Small to the right, Eric Martin to the left. Juan Dunbar, the only running back behind Hebert, looking at a four-man defensive front. First and 10, fake handoff. Hebert to pass on first down. Lobs one wide open. Quinn Early at the 13-yard line, down to the 10, to the 9-yard line. It'll be first and goal, Saints.
Well, the Saints are picking them apart right now, especially with the play-action passing game. Cardinals trying to play a zone defense, and Saints are just getting their receivers right in behind the linebackers in front of the defensive backs. Good throwing on the part of Bobby Hebert.
Statistically, that will be to the 10-yard line, so it ends up being a 26-yard pass play from quarterback Bobby Hebert to Quinn Early. First and goal at the 10-yard line. 7th first down of the game for the Saints. They've only run 3 previous plays in this drive, all long passes of over 20 yards. 2 wide receivers to the left, now a man in motion. Quinn Early from left to right. Hayward in the backfield with Dunbar, gets the handoff, has a hole from the 10 down to close to the 7-yard line. He picks up maybe 3. It'll be second down and goal. Tackle made by Tyrone Stowe.
Saints feel like that the Cardinals have some good cornerbacks. They're very good in man-to-man coverage, especially when they press or go bump and run. So I think that's the reason the Saints are using some motion today, trying to confuse the Cardinals, maybe dictate coverage, making them fall off that bump and run with motion, possibly play zone. The Saints have really been hitting some big plays versus the zone. Ron Dunbar, 10 yards rushing today on 6 carries.
That's good for only 2. It's second and goal from the 8-yard line. Martin in the slot to the right, Quinn Early wide to the right. Tied in on the right side out of motion was Hobie Brenner. Handoff goes to Dunbar, tries to get up the middle and juke a player, and he's dropped for a 1-yard loss at the 9. Tackle on the play made by Eric Swan.
It still looks like Vaughn's making some bad decisions sometimes, isn't it? We're up so high here, you can see things opening up, and it looks like he's just not confident in hitting the right spot at the right time. It looked like he had some running room to his left then.
You're exactly right. Many times we don't know where the play is intended to go, but it looked like the hole was to his left side there, and he cut it back all the way to the right into Eric Swan.
Third down and goal from the 9-yard line. 5:02 remaining in the first half.
Saints will spread it out with 4 receivers and go to the shotgun here. And if they leave Eric Martin one-on-one, he's the inside guy on the right. I think that's where Bobby will try to go.
No motion on the play out of the shotgun. Third and goal from the 9. Snap back in good shape. Hebert pump fakes. Looks off in the flat. Overthrows one receiver, but to another. Did he catch it? Yes.
I think it's intercepted.
It may have been intercepted. Yes, it was in the end zone for the touchback.
Oh, goodness. That's Dexter Davis who intercepted that ball in the far corner of the end zone.
Dexter Davis, a second-year product out of Clemson, last year's 4th-round draft choice, was overthrown on one receiver, and Davis stepped in for the interception. We have to pause for a break with 4:41 remaining in the first half. Phoenix comes up with a big play. Cardinals leading 14-3. You're listening to Saints football.
Renee Nato coming up after the game. Join me and Wayne Mack for the wrap-up show. I want your thoughts on Saints football. 524-1280 or call toll-free 1-800-364-1280. Join me, Renee Nato, and Wayne Mack on Sports 1280.
There's one bank that lives by its motto of absolutely the best personal service in New Orleans. That bank is your friends at United Bank and Trust. At United Bank and Trust, they make it their business to know each of their customers personally because they know to better serve all your banking needs, they have to take a one-on-one approach. Whether it's home mortgages, car loans, home improvement loans, or small business loans, United Bank and Trust at 2714 Canal Street can help. United Bank and Trust, where personal service isn't just a motto, it's the way United does business with you.
Uh-oh, looks like he's going to be out of the game.
If you just got put on injured reserve or want to stay in the game, the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital can help. A full range of medical professionals are trained to treat everyone from pro athletes, weekend warriors, or Little League champs. The Sports Medicine team can show you how to overcome existing injuries or prevent new ones using modern fitness equipment and medical technology, from sprained ankles to the most complicated injuries. The Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital. Call 885-FITT. That's 885-3488.
The law office of Cardinal Thomas provides competent and trustworthy legal advice in a warm and comfortable environment. This team of legal professionals has served their New Orleans community for the past 10 years. Now, if you have legal problems, their professionals stand poised to help you. Cardinal Thomas and his associates has assisted thousands of people just like you in cases from maritime, personal injury, criminal, divorces, and succession. Stop by their office at 3723 Canal Street or call 482-2841. 482-2841. The law firm of Cardinal Thomas gets results.
Here's our first Halo Hall of Fame clue for the day. I was born in West Frankfort, Illinois in 1940. I was drafted by the New York Titans of the old AFL in 1960. Playing for the Saints was a snap. Who am I? You know. Write it down and I'll tell you where to send your guess in a moment. First down for the Cardinals at the 20-yard line after Davis's interception. Phoenix with a 14-3 lead, 4:41 remaining first half. Jones in motion from left to right, and it's a reverse to Jones in the backfield. He has it, jukes a player at the 15, and then it's down for a loss back to the 16-yard line by Ricky Jackson. Double reverse, and Jones ended up with the football and was dropped for the big loss.
It really fooled no one. That play could have been stopped in the backfield about 3 different people. Jones did a good job evading some people. Really still came up with minus yardage. Chandler's 8 for 9 on the day, 83 yards and a touchdown. And Jim, I was watching the playback of the interception. I think there was some breakdown on the part of the Saints. 2 receivers, Wesley Carroll and Terrence Small, were both kind of in the same area of the field. Plus, when you've got the end zone down there, not a lot of room to work. Bobby was making a long throw to the sideline over there, and Davis just stepped in front and made the interception.
Now the problems in the red zone continue.
Randall Hill wide to the left, Kroll in the slot to the left side, and also Ernie Jones a wide out. Chandler back to pass, throws. It's caught by Hill at the 25-yard line to the 26 where he stopped. Again, that clue. I was born in West Frankfort, Illinois in 1940, drafted by the New York Titans of the old AFL in 60, played for the Saints, and it was a snap. Who am I? If you think you know this Halo Hall of Famer, mail your entry or postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines Halo Hall of Fame Contest, 111 Veterans Boulevard, Suite 704, Metairie, Louisiana, 70005.
It's a snap.
That was an 11-yard gain. From the 17-yard line up to the 27, it was a 10-yard gain, so it's third down with 3 yards to go from the 27. Chandler back to pass under center, stands at his 15, throws way upfield, a diving incompletion. Pass was intended for Larry Setters out of the backfield, but it's incomplete. Double coverage provided by Toy Cook on that play and Gene Atkins. Fourth down coming.
And a good defensive series for the Saints, stopping the reverse on first down for minus yardage, not allowing him to get the first down out to Randall Hill. Now throwing incomplete on third, and Camarillo will have to punt it away. Saints will get another shot on offense.
Dowdell muffed the punt earlier, although he was able to recover. The sun is awfully bright here. It's a very high sky, and he was having difficulty with the sun at this end of the field in warm-ups. Don't want to wish him any bad luck, but it is a problem here today.
Line of scrimmage, the 27. Camarillo punched from the 12. He had one punt earlier, a 56. This one will go not anywhere near that far as it shanks and hits at about the 50 and rolls downfield to about the 36-yard line. So that will be a punt 38 yards off the toe of Rich Camarillo, and we have timeout. 2:49 remaining first half, 14-3 Cardinals. In the state of Louisiana, a proud sponsor of New Orleans Saints football on radio is the Louisiana Lottery. This game also brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the 7th largest airline in America, offering over 1,200 daily departures to 33 destinations at the lowest unrestricted fares. Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart. 14-3 Cardinals. Now this for Popeyes.
Dropping to throw now, looking for the screen, looks like he's going to toss it over. He's going to be picked off at the 38, to the 30, down to the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown save.
The footballs are flying, and New Orleans is out to win the West again. And as an official member of the Saints training table, your local Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits is proud to offer the best fans in the league, the Saints Touchdown Special. Enough of our famous New Orleans-style chicken and sides to feed 4 hungry fans and then some. This month's Saints Touchdown Special includes a box of hot, fresh Popeye's chicken, your choice of any 16-ounce side item, and 4 buttermilk biscuits for only $9.99. So come on in to your neighborhood Popeyes for a Saints Touchdown Special at the super party price of just $9.99. Home cooking for the home team. That's what Popeye's Saints Touchdown Special is all about. Pick one up today. Welcome back to Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. On the heels of the team's first ever NFC West Division Championship, the saga of the Saints, an illustrated history of the first 25 seasons, has been published in New Orleans, written by Louisiana sports journalist Wayne Mack, published by Arthur Hardy, over 200 photos, plus a special chapter containing a quarter century of records and stats. Archie Manning throughout those records and stats. Order your copy of Saga of the Saints now before this limited first edition is completely sold out. You can get it at B. Dalton Booksellers or call 1-800-358-1950 for Saga of the Saints. All right, Saints, let's make some points at the 36-yard line. Bobby Hebert looks at a 4-man defensive front. He has a flanker and 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Rolling to the near side, pump fake. Hebert is snowed under. He gets rid of it somehow. It's caught by Eric Martin at the 45, down to the 40-yard line in Phoenix territory. Strictly ad-lib, a 25-yard pass from Hebert to Martin.
Well, once again, Bobby Hebert turns what would have been about a 12 or 15-yard loss into a 20-plus yard gain. Good job of evading the rush. Eric Martin just continued to run his route, get behind the secondary of the Cardinals, and Hebert and Eric once again come up with a big, big play.
At the 40-yard line in Phoenix territory. Remember, on the last drive, Hebert had passes of 22 to Martin, 23 to Wainwright, 26 to Early, and then had a pass intercepted by Dexter Davis in the end zone on 3rd and goal from the 9. Out of the I formation. At the 40-yard line in Phoenix territory, with 2 minutes remaining in the second period of play, that play may not have got off the launching pad before the warning sounded. So we'll read the official's instruction here as Dick Hantak does indeed say it is the 2-minute warning. So the Saints will still have 1st and 10 from the 40. There's timeout. 14-3 Cardinals at the 2-minute warning in the first half. You're listening to Saints football. Welcome back to Tempe and Sun Devil Stadium. Dave Garrett along with Archie Manning and Jim Henderson. 1st and 10 from the 40 out of the 2-minute warning. 14-3 Saints trail here in the first half. Hebert under center, looks at a 5-man defensive front. Torrance Small from slot right in motion across the left. Fake handoff. Hebert back to pass. He throws for Quinn Early, being bumped on the near side sideline. A flag on the play and an interference will be called. Flags from everywhere. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Saints at the 12-yard line. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Saints football.
14P, 5-3.
You're listening to the home of the New Orleans Saints, Sports 1280, WQUE-AM, New Orleans.
Aeneas Williams guilty of pass interference. It's 1st down for the Saints inside the 15.
Actually, he didn't have to interfere. He was running step for step with Quinn Early, and I think the ball was badly overthrown, and he just, for no reason, was just pushing Quinn Early and drew another interference call, his second of the day.
Yeah, Saints were lucky there, like you mentioned. That could have been ruled no foul because the ball could not have been caught.
28-yard penalty, 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Hebert under center on 1st and 10 with 1:55 remaining. Handoff goes to Dalton Hilliard nowhere. Maybe a yard to the 11. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Eric Hill, former teammate of Dalton Hilliard's at LSU, coming up to supply the stick. Well, Eric Hill has really developed into a fine linebacker. They've tried him inside and out. Now he's playing at the right inside linebacking position among the 4, and the Cardinals have 4 good ones, and he's one of them.
Boy, he's a tough guy, tough-looking guy. We saw him getting out of a cab in front of the stadium today. Had on some shorts and a black T-shirt, that bald head. Rough-looking guy.
At the 11-yard line, Hebert with Dalton Hilliard in the backfield. 2 flankers Early and Martin to the right. Torrance Small is split to the left. 2nd and 10 from the 11. Martin in motion from right to left. Will be mirrored by one of the defensive backs. Hebert back to pass, looks up the middle, lobs one. It's caught by Martin. Touchdown Saints. He fumbles in the end zone, but the ground caused the fumble. Saints have scored on the little shovel pass to Martin at the 5, and he gets in.
Hey, was that Randall Cunningham or Bobby Hebert down there?
I did. This may be Bobby and Eric's finest hour. They're just...
It is a touchdown after the plane was broken with the ball. The ball was fumbled.
And that breaks
Touchdown,
the
New
career
Orleans.
record that Hilliard had for 43 touchdowns as a Saint. That's the 44th of Eric Martin's career.
I'll tell you, the Saints are really doing some great things on offense today, and I think the motion, it seems to be what causing the Cardinals all their problems. They're pretty good just lining up and wanting to press people, but the motion is getting them out of that. They're having to change their defenses, and they're running around not knowing who to cover. Eric Martin's getting open every play.
Morton Anderson to attempt the extra point in the south end zone to our right. It's 14-9. Barnhart to hold, ball down, kick in the air. It's good. Timeout on the field. 1:04 remaining first half. The Saints have cut into that Cardinal lead. It's Phoenix 14 and the Saints 10.
Well, it's a big, big touchdown for the Saints. Just like earlier, to get the interception in the end zone just takes so much out of the Saints and continues to fire up the Cardinals. But to come back now before the half and to drive it down the field again, hit some big plays. Bobby getting out of trouble several times. Eric continuing to get open to pull within 14-10. Saints should be in good shape.
And the way these guys are throwing flags, maybe the best thing to do is just drop back 3 times and throw it as far as you can and hope for a pass interference call.
I agree. I've never seen so many in one half.
Well, we gave you our first Halo Hall of Fame clue earlier in this 2 drives ago for the Saints. We'd like to congratulate Patricia K. Ammon of Metairie, Louisiana, who was our first correct entry drawn in the Southwest Airlines Halo Hall of Fame contest and correctly named Walter Flea Roberts as our 4th Saints Halo Hall of Famer. Southwest Airlines and the Saints Network send our best to Patricia. Your prizes are on their way. And keep listing clue number 2 coming up second half in this week's Halo Hall of Fame contest.
Let's guess what the attendance is. They'll probably get our figures here in the second half. Let's make a guess on attendance today. What do you say?
Well, let's see. What's capacity here? Capacity 73,521.
They had about 39,000 last night for the Arizona State-Oregon State game.
I can't believe they've got 35 here today.
I'm going to say 34 plus.
The Saints have played for at least 60,000 in every game this year. They'll break that mark in this game.
These guys, you know, they haven't drawn well all year. They only drew 34,000 for the Redskins here a couple of weeks ago.
Morton Anderson boots the ball over the head of Bailey out of the end zone for the touchback, so the Cardinals will start 1:04 remaining first half at their own 20-yard line.
When we got to the stadium earlier this morning, I saw a guy with a sign out there that said, "I need tickets." He must have meant free tickets, huh? How can anybody need tickets?
For free?
For free?
From the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 Phoenix. Cardinals scored on a Bailey 1-yard run after a pass interference on Spencer. Morton Anderson booted a field goal in the second quarter, make it 7-3. Ernie Jones caught a 7-yard pass from Chandler after Reggie Jones' pass interference to make it 14-3. And then using a 28-yard penalty on a pass interference on Early, Hebert finds Martin in the end zone with a shovel pass, 11 yards for the 14-10 score. Chandler out of the shotgun will try to score before the end of the first half. He throws complete to Bailey, jukes a player at the 24 and dives up to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8. Second down and 2, tackle made by Sam Mills.
Saints are rushing 4, 1 linebacker, 5 defensive backs in the game, playing zone defense. Bailey just hooks it up out of the backfield between the linebacker and defensive back. Saints managed to keep him in bounds.
It was Bailey out of the backfield. Standing there with centers out of the shotgun. Chandler gets the snap, looks upfield, throws, and skips it in front of would-be receiver Ricky Prohl. Incomplete, 3rd and 2.
Well, Chandler and the receiver out there, Randall Hill, just not on the same page on that play. Hill taking it deep, and I think Chandler expecting him to hook it up. Ball falls to the ground.
You know, Archie, Pat Swilling hasn't had much pressure the last couple of games. Remember, he got dinged on the hip a couple of games ago. I haven't seen him being double-teamed very much down there today, and he hasn't had any pressure at all.
Most of the day, Chandler's had plenty of time to throw. Turnbull's back in on this series, rushing for Ricky Jackson out on the left defensive end spot. Goff and Warren in the middle.
Clock stopped at 34. It's 3rd down and 2 from the 28-yard line. One back, Chandler under center. He hands off to that back. It's Bailey sweeping right. Gets the first down, crosses the 30 to the 35, maybe the 36-yard line.
Cardinals will probably call a timeout here.
And they do. The Cardinals burn a timeout. 28 seconds remaining in the first half. It was a 9-yard gain, and it's first down number 9 in the ball game now for Phoenix. Today's game brought to you by Tabasco Brand Products, a proud sponsor of Saints football on radio, featuring Tabasco Brand Pepper Sauce, 7-Spice Chili, Tabasco Brand Bloody Mary Mix. Like the Saints, they're a Louisiana legend.
Well, you look at this franchise and the problems they've had most recently. Joe Bugle's really under the gun here, and a lot of people feel that he's got to do something this season. He's been 5-11 and 4-12 his first 2 seasons as head coach. And the Cardinals have a propensity for finishing the season with losing streaks. They've had an awful lot of problems the last few years in that regard. In the last 4 seasons, they have finished with 5, 6, 3, and 8-game losing streaks. And that's something you can sell a lot of season tickets on in the off-season, and they haven't done so. They started out here selling 55,000 season tickets in 1988, 20,000 this past year.
After the timeout called by Phoenix, the Cardinals come to the line, 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. 9th first down of the ball game, as mentioned, for Phoenix. Chris Chandler in at quarterback out of the shotgun. He'll have 2 backs alongside. That's Bailey and Centers, and those are the only 2 remaining running backs healthy and/or in the lineup today for Phoenix.
Saints are coming with just a 3-man rush here. Swilling will drop off into pass coverage.
Chandler out of the shotgun throws a long pass way downhill for Randall Hill, and it's overthrown at the 10-yard line, and no flags.
Good coverage back there, Brett Maxey and Reggie Jones.
Well, that's the second fastest man in the NFL, second only to Alexander Wright, the wide receiver out of Auburn that the Cowboys hung on to for a few years. Never could really integrate him into the lineup and recently released him. I think the Raiders picked him up within the last couple of weeks.
Actually, they traded him to the Raiders, I think, for a late draft choice right prior to trade deadline this past week. Jerry Jones makes another move there. Randall Hill and Wesley Carroll, of course, the receiving tandem at the University of Miami a couple of years ago.
Clock was stopped with 21 seconds remaining. There's 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. 2 backs split alongside Chandler out of the shotgun. With 21 ticks on the clock, Phoenix up 14-10 first half. Chandler to pass, overthrows one would-be receiver, and it was almost picked off by the Saints. Gene Atkins. It was intended for Jones, and Atkins was closest to it and actually got his hands on it. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10.
Well, once again, the Saints playing a deep zone defense with multiple defensive backs. Chandler protected well. Of course, Saints just rushing 3. An attempt to just lob it over the head of Brett Maxey and get it into their wide receiver. Thrown behind him, and Atkins almost had the interception. Now the Saints take out Pig Goff, bringing in another defensive back.
16 seconds remaining, 3rd down and 10 from the 37-yard line. And we'll see what happens on this play with Phoenix. 3 wide receivers and 2 backs both go out of the backfield. Chandler throws out of the shotgun, and it's overthrown incomplete, and the clock stops at 11 with 4th down coming.
That's a pretty good pass rush from Ronaldo Turnbull. He was double-teamed. The Saints were only rushing 3, and yet he made Chandler hurry that throw.
Well, there's your old prevent defense, boys. That's a good job against the Cardinals. Right. Cardinals, of course, Saints just bringing 3, covering with 8, and actually forced the Cardinals into a punting situation.
Marcus Dowdell stands at his own 17-yard line. Camarillo to punt. He has a punt of 56 and 1 of 38 here in the first half.
Well, after being hot early, Chandler's come back with 4 straight incompletions now.
Camarillo stands at his own 22, gets the snap back in good shape. Saints peel back for a return. It is a booming kick, fielded. Nope, it's fumbled, muffed at the 10-yard line. Football still loose. Ball being chased for. It's still on the ground, and I believe the Saints got it at the 6.
No time left on the clock, fortunately for the Saints. You know, all week long, Jim Mora was trying to downplay all the attention Marcus Dowdell got. Maybe this is why.
Saints did recover, but the clock runs out. It shows zeros, and Phoenix goes to the halftime locker room with a 14-10 lead. The Southwest Airlines halftime report begins in 1 minute with the first half summary. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
Let the good times roll.
I love it here. It's fantastic.
The President Casino is the class of the coast.
We had a great Las Vegas eats your heart out.
Southern hospitality is great.
Let the good times roll.
The President Casino at the Broadwater in Biloxi. Open 24 hours every day. Free admission, free parking. Come and go as you please.
Let the good times roll.
Saints football proudly sponsored on radio by Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. And by Popeye's famous fried chicken and biscuits, official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. And by Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
(14-10) halftime. Phoenix over the New Orleans Saints. Saints will tell you about their scoring drive in just a moment, but New Orleans did move the ball well in the first half. First of all, though, before our summary, we'd like to remind you, if you're just plain smart about New Orleans Saints history, you could be a big winner in the 92 Southwest Airlines Saints Halo Hall of Fame contest. The more you know about memorable Saints stars of the past, the better your chances of being one of 8 big winners during the 92 season. Winners enjoy an exciting gift package, including all of these great prizes: a pair of free round-trip tickets from any Southwest Airlines city to New Orleans, or to any of the other 33 Southwest Airlines destinations of your choice. A pair of free tickets to an upcoming Saints home game in the Dome. A pair of free tickets to the Saints Hall of Fame and Museum in Kenner. Dinner for 2 at Stonebreakers in Metairie. Plus a special Southwest Airlines Saints Smart Pack filled with fun gifts from Southwest Airlines. To win, listen for our in-game clues in each Saints broadcast. If you can name the Saints Halo Hall of Famer, mail your entry or postcard to Southwest Airlines, 111 Veterans Boulevard, Suite 704, Metairie, Louisiana, 70005 by the entry deadline. If you're the first correct entry drawn on the announced drawing date, you're a winner. Because when it comes to knowing about your favorite team, the Saints, you're just plain smart. No purchase necessary to win. Just send in the correct entry by the announced deadline date. If you're the first one drawn by first correct entry drawn by Southwest Airlines, you'll be one of 8 big winners this season. We've already had several. Listen for clues each game, and you can be a winner. The Saints Halo Hall of Fame contest brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Saints Radio Network. Saints lost the toss. Phoenix won, received, ran 3 plays, and had to punt it away. Saints on their first possession picked up a first down, but Bobby Hebert was sacked, and then 3 plays later had to punt it away. Taking over at the 20-yard line after a 60-yard Barnhart punt, quarterback Chris Chandler engineered his team on a 10-play, 80-yard drive, culminated with a pass interference on Jimmy Spencer in the end zone that gave the ball to the Cardinals first and goal at the 1, and Johnny Bailey dived up and over for the score. Davis point after made it 7-0 Cardinals with 2:27 remaining in the first period of play. Saints marched right back, though, through the end of the first period and started the second period, and aided by a pass interference call. A drive fell short at the 34-yard line in Phoenix territory, and Morton Henderson came in and booted a 52-yard field goal that capped a 10-play, 46-yard drive. 12:18 remaining first half at 7-3 Cardinals. Cardinals on the next possession, though, march 79 yards in only 5 plays. An 11-yard pass to Bailey. A 50-yard penalty with pass interference called on the Saints' Reggie Jones gave the football to the Cardinals first and goal at the 9-yard line. 2 plays later, Chandler hit Ernie Jones on a 7-yard pass play that capped off the end of the drive and made it 14-3 with the point after 8:45 remaining in the first half. Saints' next offensive possession, first and goal at the 9. And then on 3rd and goal at the 9, Dexter Davis intercepted a Bobby Hebert pass, but the Cardinals ran 3 plays and had to punt. Saints took over at their own 36, a 24-yard pass play to Eric Martin. Then a 28-yard penalty on pass interference against the Phoenix Cardinals. Saints had it 1st and 10 at the 12. On 2nd and 9 from the 11, Bobby Hebert, looking as though he's running a quarterback draw shovel pass to Eric Martin at the 5. He runs 5 yards to the end zone for the score. 3 plays, 64 yards. 14-10 with the point after, 1:04 remaining in the second period, and the Saints have pulled it within 4, and that's the way the second period ended. 14-10 here at halftime. Saints lead over the Phoenix Cardinals. Jim Henderson and his guest up next on the Southwest Airlines halftime report. After these messages, the score 14-10 Cardinals. You're listening to Saints football.
Sports 1280 has the big 3, Archie Manning, Coach Jim Mora, and Jim Finks. Every Monday morning at 7, it's the Archie Manning Monday Morning Quarterback Show, live from Stonebreakers Restaurant. Have breakfast and meet and chat with Mr. Saint, Archie Manning, about Saints football.
I think this tackle was, the thing happened to Haverdick early. And I think this tackle thing's been in the back of their mind, the coaches, personnel, people, every since.
Every Tuesday night at 6:30 on Sports 1280, it's the nuts and bolts of Saints football and what makes it go. It's your chance to talk to Coach Jim Mora about the good, the bad, and the exceptional play of the Saints.
Special teams coach and I were talking today. We both are optimistic that we're going to do better in the kicking game. We're going to be okay there.
Every Wednesday evening at 6:30, we get down to business with the Jim Finks Show, live from Stonebreakers Restaurant. Have dinner and talk Saints football with the president and general manager of the New Orleans Saints.
Tom had been talking to me about my contract off and on, and he was aware that I was talking to Jim Mora, but this time of the year is extremely busy for Jim Mora and Tom Benson.
The big 3, Archie Manning, Coach Jim Mora, and Jim Finks, exclusively on Sports 1280.
Jim Henderson back with you at halftime in Sun Devil Stadium, where the Saints are holding a 14-10 deficit against the Cardinals from Phoenix. My guest at halftime is Tim Tyers of the Phoenix Gazette, a longtime columnist. And Tim, your perspective from a Cardinal viewpoint on that first half.
Well, Jim, I think the Cardinals have been rather fortunate. They had the pass interference call against Spencer in the south end zone that I'm not so sure he wasn't looking back at the ball. And then again on Reginald Jones down here in the north end zone, I don't know what he did looking at the replay. I thought that was a clean play.
You mentioned something interesting, I thought, before we came on, Mike. You thought the Cardinals got a little greedy when they were up 14-3.
Well, I did. Personally, I've seen so many Cardinal games, and they have a tendency to shoot themselves in the foot. And I think on that particular series, thought they got a little greedy, tried to get too much too early on third down going deep. I think they could have thrown under probably and got picked up the first down. They're not the kind of team, I think, that should be trying to blow somebody out when they got them down like this. I think they should just keep playing good, solid football and hope they can hang in there, especially this late in the half. All that could do is give New Orleans momentum, and they certainly got it and ran with it.
Capacity in this stadium is over 73,000 fans. How many do you think are here today?
I would have to say it's a gaggle of 28,000.
What are some of the problems, apart from the record, of attracting fans to this stadium to watch this team?
Well, Jim, to be honest with you, there's a good number of Cardinal fans in this valley, but they want to see something first, and so the record has a lot to do with it. Then, from a historical standpoint, when Bidwell came into town, he never gave them a chance to have a honeymoon, the city and the Cardinals. Took some bad advice from the people that persuaded him in coming in here and attached surcharge prices on the tickets that were astronomical, and in the process eliminated the blue-collar guy from the stadium. And, any way you want to look at it, pro football is still a blue-collar game.
This is one of the few franchises, though, in the NFL that's lowering ticket prices recently.
Well, and they're still in the middle.
We're visiting with Tim Tyers of the Phoenix Gazette. More with Tim in just one moment. We're nearing the start of the second half with our score. The Cardinals 14 and the Saints 10. More on the Southwest Airlines halftime report in a moment. You're listening to Saints football.
Sometimes you need to take time out and listen to some music. When that happens, turn to our sister station, Continuous Music, Q93.3 FM. Q93.3 FM has 100,000 watts of power, jamming New Orleans Saints football into your radios all over Louisiana. In addition, you hear Coach Jim Mora, Archie Manning, Jim Henderson, and Dave Garrett. We are the only two radio stations in New Orleans where you hear New Orleans Saints football. The 100,000-watt Saints blowtorch, Q93.3 FM and Sports 1280.
Hey, George, I heard you just purchased a new heat pump. Yeah, Bill had it installed last week. Why in the world did you buy a heat pump? Well, a heat pump's one piece of equipment that provides comfortable heating and cooling with just a flick of a switch. And for each unit of electricity that goes in, you get 3 units of heat out. I mean, it's like getting a $100 value for only $33.
George, where'd you get your heat pump?
We got it from a contractor member of the Louisiana Heat Pump Association. And if you're interested in moving up to the heat pump, just call 1-800-537-4255. They'll provide you with a list of qualified member contractors in your area.
Exxon Shop salutes the 26th Saints season with special savings they're passing on to you. Save with the Tiger all season long. Stop in at a local convenient Exxon shop near you and stock up on plenty of Lipton tea. Try the new Lipton Original Fresh Brewed Iced Tea in a 16-ounce bottle for 99 cents. The only really brewed iced tea, and it's available at Exxon shops. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon shop. Stock up on plenty of Doritos. All large sizes, assorted flavors, your choice, only 99 cents. At all participating Exxon shops. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon shops. Prices may vary at participating locations. Whatever you choose, you'll save at Shoetown and Put in Fashion's half-price apparel sale. Buy any apparel item at our everyday low price and get the second of equal or lesser value for half price. Got that? Choose any apparel item. Buy one and the second of equal or lesser value is half price at Shoetown and Put in Fashion. Save up to 30% on name brand athletics. Reebok, Converse, Fila, Pony, and Nike. Men's, women's, and children's athletics. Up to 30% off and half price on apparel during our anniversary at Shoetown.
Sports 1280.
Thank you very much for the visit and the information. We'd like to present you with this beautiful collection of Oscar De La Renta neckwear. Comes courtesy of the Wemco Corporation, manufactured in New Orleans, and we hope you'll wear them in good health and come down and visit our fair city sometime soon.
Well, I hope I do, because I really enjoy New Orleans. It's one of the great cities in America. I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you very much for the visit. That's today's Southwest Airlines halftime report. Our score, the Cardinals 14 and the Saints 10. The second half kickoff is next on the Saints Network.
If you take the 4 quarters in a football game, add a few timeouts, and of course the announcer's witty commentary, You might have time to make chili from scratch. Or try Tabasco brand 7-spice chili recipe. One jar of its 7 specially blended herbs and spices turns a pound of brown meat into homemade tasty chili in minutes. And all you miss is a little of that witty commentary. An original or spicy Tabasco 7-spice chili recipe is homemade taste made easy from the makers of Tabasco brand pepper sauce.
Party Caribbean style at the Isle of Capri Casino, Mississippi's largest. The Isle is always open for non-stop fun and excitement with live entertainment, free admission, and free parking. So come to the Isle of Capri Casino at Point Cadet in Biloxi. It's a tropical paradise. For information, call 1-800-THE-ISLE.
I love the Isle of Capri Casino. Hey, I love
To arrive. Thanks to Perlis and Cajun Clothing Company for outfitting our Saints radio team in cotton crawfish shirts and blazers. See all the colors and styles of crawfish shirts at Perlis on Magazine in the Esplanade and at Cajun Clothing Company in Jack's Brewery, the Riverwalk, and Oakwood, Cortana, and Acadiana Malls. Order by phone for the catalog, 1-800-725-6070. That's 800-725-6070. Saints 10 first downs to the Cardinals 9 in the first half. Bobby Hebert 8 of 11 for 147, a touchdown pass and an interception. Chandler 9 of 15 for 96 and 1 touchdown. And Dunbar rushed 7 times for 8 yards. Hayward had 2 carries for 15.
Yeah, David, this is a team that gave up 260 yards on the ground to the Giants last week, and the Saints picked up just 24 on 10 carries in the first half.
Saints will get the football to start the second half, and it's McAfee at the goal line on the kick by Davis up to the 10. He's to the 15, but not much more to the 16-yard line before he's snowed over by the Phoenix defense. And leading the tacklers is David Braxton, who plays outside linebacker on the special teams. He's a second-teamer, making the tackle his 10th tackle of the year.
Some statistics for you from the first half. Bobby Hebert 8 out of 11 for 147 yards, sacked once and 1 touchdown. Intercepted as well in the end zone. Chris Chandler, who started so quickly, 5 of 5, finished 9 of 15 for 96 yards, and the touchdown pass to Ernie Jones.
I know halftime came, but do you men feel that the Saints grabbed a little momentum there before the end of the first half?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about it. I was just talking about it with Jim Finch in the press box. To be able to score that, get in the end zone there with a touchdown, 5 and a half, I think it's a big boost for the Saints.
Bobby Hebert looks at a 5-man defensive front under center on first down. Fake handoff, play action, throws in the flat, caught by Hayward, who breaks a tackle at the 20, and I do mean breaks a tackle and gains to the 23-yard line.
Well, that's Robert Massey, his old teammate, who was trying to wrestle the head to earth, none too successfully. Massey, of course, so contributive to the upset victory over the Redskins with a pair of interceptions, 31 and 41 yards. He brought those back, but I'll tell you what, looking at those interceptions on tape, I think David or I could have come in with those because Rippon threw them right to him out in the flat, and it was just easy to walk into the end zone with the touchdown.
Well, maybe David.
I knew I was like putting myself wide open for something. Nice that you could make it back. Did you bring us anything to eat?
Yeah, here's some popcorn.
Thanks.
He talks well with that in his mouth.
I'm stuffed from those hot dogs I had.
Hebert on second down and 4. Handoff goes to Dunbar in the backfield and nothing. In fact, he lost a yard, maybe 2, back to the 21. The line of scrimmage was the 23. So it'll be third down and long for the Saints coming up on the handoff to Dunbar. And the loss back to the 21, a 2-yard loss. It's 3rd and 6.
Well, that just goes to show you, things change from week to week. The Saints were coming off their best night rushing, best game of the season rushing against the Rams last week. The Cardinals were horrible against the Giants, and so far the Cardinals have just stuffed the Saints running game.
Saints will have a third down opportunity on third down conversions in the first half. Saints were 0 of 3. Cardinals were 3 of 6 for 50%. Saints 0 of 3. Third down, 3 wide receivers to the left, 6 yards to go from the 21-yard line. Hebert out of the shotgun, looks over in the flat, and his pass is knocked down, incomplete. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Eric Swan is the man with the big mitt.
Big Eric Swan, the #1 draft choice of a year ago. A guy who never played collegiately, trying to make the jump from semi-professional football to first-round draft choice in the NFL. Gained a lot of weight, was up as much as 340 pounds at the end of last season, was being fined for that. Now he's dropped some 30 pounds, seems to understand the defense a lot better, and is trying to make a contribution, getting his first start here today.
Tommy Barnhart into punt in the first half. He had a punt of 60 yards. He boots this one. It is a high spiraling kick. It'll be for a lot of yards. Johnny Bailey retreats to the 20, receives the punt, tries to reverse his field, works out of a tripod, and then crawls to the 25-yard line. It's a 50-yard punt again by Tommy Barnhart, who's having a very good season in that position. The run back goes to the 25-yard line where the Cardinals will have it first down and 10, 13 minutes remaining here in the third period of play.
You get those guys tripoding, and you're always in good shape
every time
when you're covering kicks.
We talked about momentum earlier, David. I think, of course, it did a lot for the Cardinals right there to come out, shut the Saints down, 3 up and 3 down in their first series of the second half.
Cardinals on offense. First time here in period number 3. Wide to the left is Randall Hill. In the slot to the right-hand side is Ernie Jones, and wide to the right is Prohl. One running back centers behind quarterback Chris Chandler. Under center, gets the snap, back to pass, looks down the field, caught by Jackson, and then is sacked by one of Jackson's teammates in the backfield, and that is Pat Swilling. First Saints sack of the game at the 15-yard line with the loss.
Yeah, Chandler, first time today the Saints have really put good pressure on Chandler. He could find no one open, excellent coverage in the secondary, and Ricky Jackson forced him out wide, and Swilling was able to come in from behind and get the sack.
That had to be a concern for the Saints at halftime. That had to be something they addressed in their defensive meetings, putting more pressure on Chandler because he felt no pressure at all in the first half.
Yeah, I would guess it was addressed.
Second down and 20 from the 15-yard line. Wide to the left this time, Ernie Jones.
Pointedly so.
Ricky Prohl is in the slot to the left.
Now, this looks like definitely a passing formation right there from the lineup of the running back.
Prohl in motion from slot left to the right. Handoff goes to Bailey, sweeping left. Yardage up to the 20, 25 to the 26-yard line. He got 11 of it back.
David, I think that's what they did in the first half. Every time they got in the formation with their sole running back being split wide and close to the line of scrimmage, they threw the football. That time, they kind of came out and ran a sweep play to him from that position. I think it caught the Saints off guard, as it did this announcer.
15-yard run by Bailey to the 25-yard line after they unpile. It's third down and 10 from the original line of scrimmage, the 25. That was before the sack.
Bailey has 28 yards today on 7 carries.
Randall Hill splits wide to the left. Tight end is lined up on the right side, and that is Walter Reeves. One running back, and he's lined up as a flanker to the left. Bailey again with 2 split receivers to the right. Third down and 10. Chandler under center, straight back to pass, looks down the field, throws wide open. Cole caught, first down, fumbles the football, and I believe it's a live ball. The Saints are on it at the 37-yard line. The officials have made no indication, which would make me believe that it's Saints football. No whistle was blown. There was no animated display of the ball being down. It has to be the Saints football.
You'd think so.
I agree with you, Dave.
It is.
Prohl definitely made the catch.
Recovered by Sam Mills. Prohl after the catch fumbles, and it's the Saints ball at the 37, and what a break for New Orleans.
Yeah, there were about 4 Saints around that football. Any one of them could have picked it up and maybe run it downfield a good deal farther, but eventually Mills just said, to heck with it, I'm going to fall on it. A couple of other Saints got on top of him as well, and it's the Saints football after the turnover, and here's one of those short fields that we remarked early in the broadcast. The Saints haven't enjoyed much this season. Let's see what they can do with this.
Well, let's enjoy it now. First and 10. They'll mark it at the 38-yard line, and Quinn Early goes wide to the right. Eric Martin wide to the left. Split backfield. Dunbar and Hayward behind quarterback Bobby Hebert as the 20,000-plus yell defense here in Tempe, Arizona. Obi Brenner tied in on the right side. Hebert under center.
Split backfield for the Saints, unusual formation for them.
Hebert lobs one to Hayward over the middle, breaks a tackle down to the 30-yard line. He gains 8 or 9 yards, maybe to the 29 with the pass to Ironhead. A quick pop over the middle.
Well, nothing fancy, just a split backfield. I mentioned the Saints seldom use a split backfield. Drop back pass, and Ironhead just goes right over the middle against the zone defense. Then Tyrone Stowe misses the tackle, and Ironhead picks up about 8 yards on the play.
You think the Falcons are missing Dion 42-10 in the second quarter, the 49ers over the Falcons.
Saints have it, second down and 1. Just downfield from the 30, they call it the 29 statistically. Same set. Split backfield, wide out to the left is Martin, to the right is Quinn Early. Hebert under center, that's Hilgenberg, the center, with Hayward in the backfield, split with Vaughn Dunbar. 5 yards deep in the backfield. Long signal count. Trademark for Bobby Hebert. Handoff goes to Dunbar, sweeping right, room 30, down to the 25, first down, down to the 28, maybe the 27-yard line. Saints with another first down, their 11th of the game and first of the second half.
There's a play you don't see very much from the Saints. That's like the old Green Bay sweep right there. A split backfield and a wide sweep play to Vaughn Dunbar. It looked like he had a chance to turn the corner, but the defensive back over on that side really did a good job in run support. Stopped him after a nominal gain.
7-yard run by Dunbar, first and 10 at the 22-yard line. Quinn Early splits wide to the right. There's 2 flankers to the left this time. That's Stowers and Wainwright. Big blocking up front on the left-hand side. Now Wainwright in motion across the formation to the right. Dunbar in the backfield. Fake handoff. Bobby Hebert rolls right. Lots one. Wide open Wainwright 20. Jukes a player at the 15. Gets down to the 14-yard line and stays in bounds.
That was a nicely conceived play, and I don't know whether it was a part of the fake or not, but Wainwright almost fell down as it looked like he was trying to execute a block. They completely disregarded him and went with the action of the play, and as he regained his balance and got up on his feet, he was wide open to take in that football.
Well, I don't think he was the primary receiver. Bobby once again did a real good job with someone right in his face, just dumping it off to Wainwright out there and picking up some good yardage.
8-yard pass to Frank Wainwright. He gains down to the 14 at 2nd down and 2. Saints have not looked at 3rd down after the fumble recovery by Sam Mills. Set up this drive at the 38. 2nd and short yardage from the 14-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the left. Dunbar behind Hebert, who's under center on 2nd down. Handoff to Dunbar. He runs into a pile and loses yardage to the 15. It'll be 3rd down and 3 at the 15-yard line.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Dunbar is not even getting to the line of scrimmage on these running plays.
You know, I'm a little surprised, too, that they're not using Dalton Hilliard more today. They indicated to us down on the field before the game that Dalton, who runs so well on grass, and as he has in the past in Atlanta when they played in the open-air stadium in Los Angeles, out there in Anaheim, they were going to use him more today, and they haven't used him much at all, and Vaughn is certainly not justifying staying in there for any great length of time right now, the way he's carrying the ball. To his credit, though, there haven't been an awful lot of holes for him.
Hilliard's in there now, the only running back behind Hebert. Torrance Small to the right. Early and Martin to the left. Martin in the slot to the left. The tight end on the right side in this formation. On 3rd down and 3, Hebert straight back to pass. Looks over the middle. Now still looking. Runs out of a receiver. Throws for Dalton Hilliard. Caught at the 5. Touchdown Saints.
That was a great play. Bobby looked for him initially, and he was extremely well covered by Eric Hill, I believe it was. And then Hilliard didn't give up on the route. He just kept taking it upfield. Bobby kept his eye on him. Eventually, he cleared the linebacker, and Hebert hit him for the touchdown.
Well, you're exactly right, Jim. It's a real veteran move on the part of Dalton Hilliard. And Bobby could find no one open. He looked at his first man, his second man, and then Dalton Hilliard is his safety valve. He was covered, but once again, give the offensive line some credit. Bobby was able to get out of there and buy some time and then hit Dalton Hilliard as he turned it downfield for the touchdown.
5 plays, 38 yards, a 15-yard pass play to Dalton Hilliard. You could just see it setting up. Dalton outran the defender after the scramble by Hebert. Point after, and it's fumbled, picked up by Barnhart. Now it's a loose football, and it's kicked out of bounds. Saints are not able to convert. 8:05 remaining in the 3rd period of play. It's 16-14, Saints over the Cardinals. You're listening to Saints football. Point after fumbled on the snap from Hilgenberg to Tommy Barnhart. Frank Wainwright has been snapping on punts of late, and Hilgenberg still on the kick snap chore. That fumble was just probably a drop snap. We'll have Jim Henderson comment in a moment. Morton Anderson sends the kickoff out of the end zone for the touchback.
Well, yeah, David, looking at the replay, it looks like it just went straight through the hands of Tommy Barnhart. Not offering excuses for him. Obviously, that's something that should be handled. It is an awfully hot day, and perhaps his hands were just slick. In any event, the ball goes through his hands, and the Saints are only up by 2 instead of 3, 16-14. But they do capitalize on that fumble in the short field, and it looks like the momentum has changed in this game late in the 2nd quarter and into the 3rd.
Don't forget to tune into our post-game show. Archie, Jim, and I pick the weekly Popeyes Pop of the Game winner, and the Saints player will deliver that Pop of the Game and announce the local charity that receives $500 in his name, sponsored by Popeyes, famous fried chicken and biscuits. The Pop of the Game coming up. Chandler looks at a 4-man defensive front for the Saints. Actually, 5 men on the line of scrimmage. Fake handoff, back to pass, screen. It's caught by one of the tight ends. There's a flag on the play, and that'll be Kroll at the 25 up to the 30, not one of the tight ends. It'll be Rick Kroll catching the pass and gaining up to the 30-yard line, and we'll read the flag and Dick Hantak's call in a moment.
I think it's going to be Rick Cunningham, the right tackle, who was downfield.
An eligible receiver, number 64 on the offense, downfield prior to the pass, 10-yard penalty, repeat the down, 1st down.
Yeah, Cunningham was blocking on Pat Swelling. Just got downfield a little too quick. Actually, it was a good-looking play and a good call on 1st down, the screen. Saints had Pig Goff and Les Miller in at the defensive ends on that 1st down. Hot day. Saints will try to get a lot of people, especially on their defense, in and out.
1st down and 20 at the 10-yard line after that penalty mark-off. That pass actually completed the Butch Roll, Plan B acquisition from Buffalo before the start of this season. But it's for naught. Kroll is the flanker on the right with a wide out to the right. Bailey, the running back, gets it in the backfield. And, a great trip-up tackle made by Wayne Martin at the 12-yard line.
Boy, it probably did save the Saints at least 5 more yards and maybe 15 or 20. As Bailey had a chance to cut back, get into the open field, and Wayne Martin makes a big tackle.
It was 1st and 20 from the 10. The gain is to the 13. We'll see if the football is just off the 12-yard line. It is, so it's a gain of 3. And it's 2nd down, 17 yards to go at the 13-yard line, and Saints keeping Phoenix in bad field position.
You mentioned the H-back earlier, Butch Roll. Cardinals really aren't using much of the H-back offense today. Primarily, they've been going with 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and 1 back.
Hill to the left, Kroll in the slot to the right. Wide to the right is Ernie Jones. Chandler under center, back to pass, throws, caught by Kroll at the 17, up to the 20, to the 22-yard line. That'll be a gain of 9 yards from the 13 to the 22, tackled by Gene Atkins. Still 3rd and long.
Well, Chandler finds Ricky Prohl just hooking up against a zone defense on 2nd and long. Completes the pass to him, gets the Cardinals in better shape now to pick up the 1st down, but still facing about a 3rd and 8.
Phoenix is 3 for 7 on 3rd down conversions. They were 3 for 6 in the first half. Of course, did not convert their last time with the fumble.
Keith Taylor in now for the Saints. The Saints will rush 4 here and have 7 defensive backs in their secondary for coverage.
Jones and Kroll to the left, 2 split backs, along with Chandler out of the shotgun. That's Centers and Bailey in the backfield with a wide out to the right. Randall Hill, the snap back in good shape. Chandler rolling to his left. He is a right-handed passer. Looks down the field, has all day. Throws a long, long pass over the head of everyone, incomplete at the 30-yard line. Not within 10 yards of anyone, including the Saints, intended for Ernie Jones. It'll be 4th down.
I'll tell you, the Cardinal defenders really didn't do a good job of working themselves back open for Chris Chandler. Now, when you roll out on a play like that on 3rd down, you're taking away half the field. He just really had 2 people on a pattern over there, but he had plenty of time, and Jones and Randall Hill really didn't do a good job of working open for him.
Camarillo in the punt in the first half. He had a punt of 56, a punt of 53, and one of 38. Back to receive for the Saints at the 30-yard line is Marcus Dowdell. Camarillo gets a good snap, high spiraling kick. Dowdell's had some problems today. He fields his punt, fumbles it at the 22, reverses his field, now cuts back at the 15-yard line. There's a flag on the play, slips and falls at the 16, then got back up and started to run again, and the officials call him down. It was a punt of 55 yards, and Marcus Dowdell is not having his great day.
No, this is the kind of game the Saints feared he would have last week. I really do think that the sun has something to do with it in his case, because he's obviously lost a little confidence. That's the 3rd one he's muffed today.
In the back, during return, number 43, we'll penalize half the distance to the goal line. It will be 1st down, New Orleans.
Well, we've been talking about a long field and short field. Saints are playing on a long field now.
Tyrone Leggett guilty of the penalty on the block. Ford Quality Care, proud sponsor of Saints Radio. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. Ford Quality Care. 5:32 remaining in the 3rd period of play. Proud sponsor of Saints Radio. Also Sears Brand Central. The brand you want at the store you trust. 16-14 Saints. Now this for your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Now's your chance to see the most exciting and technically advanced lineup in our history. Introducing Jeep and Eagle from 1993. With innovative new models that will truly amaze and thrill you. See the new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the sophisticated new Eagle Vision. Get into the newly designed Summit Coupe for as little as $7,706 and Summit Sedan for a little more. Or drive away an affordable, sporty Eagle Talon DL for about $11,652. You could get great deals on every vehicle in stock. So whatever you do, don't miss the 93s at your Jeep and Eagle dealer. MSRP after $500 cash back direct from Chrysler excludes title, taxes, and options. Actual prices may vary. These are limited time offers. Buyer must take delivery from dealer stock. See dealer for details. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Welcome back to Tempe and Sun Devil Stadium. If you've been putting off your car's oil change, do it now. Today's 4- and 6-cylinder cars really tough on motor oils. Drive into Bill's Quick Lube in Gulfport and Biloxi, Mississippi, and get a complete Castrol GTX oil change. The job will be done fast and done right using Castrol. Spruce up your car's engine at Bill's Quick Lube in Gulfport and Biloxi, Mississippi.
Dave, let me sneak in a few scores here. Final score, Cleveland 17, Green Bay 6. Another final, Dallas defeats Kansas City in a big game, 17-10. Washington over Philly, 16-12. Looks like Washington's coming back. Philly loses their second in a row. And San Diego with a big win over Indianapolis, 34-14. Chicago 31, Tampa Bay 14.
After the illegal block, it's 1st and 10. Saints back at the 7-yard line. Worst field position of the day. Handoff goes to Vaughn Dunbar, and he gets very little yardage, 1 or 2 to the 8 or to the 9. Jock Jones, left outside linebacker, makes the tackle.
Vaughn Dunbar has 14 yards on 11 carries today. Just no room to run.
No, I don't think Hayward's been very pleased with his own blocking performance. That time he got up swatting the ground in disgust as it looked like he missed his block. Saints have not opened many holes for any of their running backs today, obviously.
2nd down and 9 from the 8-yard line on the 1-yard gain by Vaughn Dunbar. Saints in the huddle a long time. Now break out of the huddle, and we'll go with a flanker, a tight end on the right side. Wide receiver Quinn Early on the left, split backfield behind Hebert, looking at a 5-man defensive front. Hebert back to pass. Pump fakes, throws in the flat.
That could be a lateral. That could be a lateral. Boy, that was close.
Caught and dropped by
now we got a flag.
Ironhead. Now there's a flag on the play, and it was picked up by Hobie Brenner, and some scuffling going on.
You know, you could tell that there's something wrong with that play from the beginning. It was just Bobby used a lot of time. There was some confusion on the substitution. The play was run. Bobby tried to really just dump the ball off at the last second to Ironhead in the left flat. Threw it extremely hard. He couldn't hold on, and it was almost a lateral. Then a flag. Ironhead got into it with the defensive back, and that's when the flag was thrown.
Big huddle. Dick Hantak, our referee, will tell us now what the deal is.
Personal foul against the defense, number 98. He had a blow to the head, 15 yards for unnecessary roughness. 1st down.
Boy, there's a break.
That's Eric Swan.
That's one the Saints will gladly accept, too. Not only 15 yards and a 1st down, but anytime you can get a penalty to get you out of the hole inside the 10-yard line. Big play.
It appeared Ironhead took a blow after he caught and dropped the ball, or touched the ball and dropped it, took a blow to the head. That's what the official said.
I'm not sure who it was on. You know, up where we are, almost looks like watching ants at a picnic down there. So I'm not sure who it was that he hit high.
1st down and 10 at the 23-yard line now after the penalty. That's the 12th 1st down of the ball game for the Saints. Dead ball personal foul. Handoff goes to Fred McAfee, who's in there at running back now, trying to sweep to the near side. He breaks one tackle and gains to the 25, 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8, and McAfee's in to run for the first time.
Just his 4th carry of the year. Fred on the handoff, trying to extend it wide and turn the corner, unable to do so.
Eric Hill escorted him out of bounds to the 25-yard line. 2nd and 8.
McAfee out, Hilliard back in. Here's a couple of partial scores that Jim mentioned earlier. The 49ers 42, Atlanta 10, Denver 10, and Houston 7 at the half. Raiders lead Seattle 12-0 at the half. I wish we had Seattle coming up for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
That's the same thing Jim Mora said to me in the locker room a couple of weeks ago. How do we get those guys on our schedule?
Martin and Carroll to the left, Early to the right. One running back, Hilliard behind Hebert under center on 2nd and 8 from the 25-yard line. Looking at a 4-man defensive front with 3:55 remaining 3rd period. Back to pass, throws over the middle. It's caught and then dropped. Is it incomplete? It is. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. Intended for Torrance Small. 3rd down and 8 from the 25-yard line. Tim McDonald defending.
Well, the Saints like to throw that little slant in over the middle of the wide receivers, and the Cardinals ran a coverage that time that made Bobby Hebert think it would be wide open. They closed on it just as he threw, and very fortunate it wasn't a completion and then a fumble.
Another split second, and it may have been just that. It's 3rd and 8 at the 25. The Saints are only 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions here in this game. 3 wideouts to the near side. It's Early, Carroll, and Martin. Wide to the right, Torrance Small. Dalton Hilliard in the backfield with Bobby Hebert out of the shotgun. 3rd and 8 from the 25. Saints leading 16-14, just under 4 minutes, 3rd quarter. Hebert with the snap, has some trouble, throws out of a run. It's caught at the 41-yard line. 1st down, Eric Martin for the Saints.
Boy, do those guys work well together.
They sure do. Bobby so many times today has looked to be in trouble, has been able to find some kind of crease up the middle in that case, and then spot Eric Martin running downfield, and as always the case, it seems like a defensive back is right there to hit Eric just after he catches the ball, and he always holds on.
16-yard pass to the 41-yard line. 1st and 10, number 14 this game for the Saints. Proud sponsors of today's game, Pennzoil and Gum Out, both available at all Walmart stores. And by your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers. Remember, there's only one Jeep. 3:08 remaining third period. Regular offense, split backfield. Offset, fake handoff. Hebert throws over the middle. It's thrown behind Hobie Brenner. Incomplete at the 45 in Phoenix territory.
Boy, Bobby wide open, too.
Yeah, he'd like to have that one back. Hobie on a good play-action fake had just gotten in behind the linebackers in that dead area, just wide open. Bobby throws it low and behind him. Eric Martin, for the second week in a row, has gone over 100 yards. He has 6 catches now for 105 yards and a touchdown. The Rams lead the Giants 17-10. Third quarter, and Miami has come back to go on top of New England 17-10 at the half.
Well, look at the wholesale changes just made by Phoenix. 5 for 5 just now. 5 out and 5 in for the Cardinals. 2nd down and 10 from the 41-yard line. 2 wideouts to the right. That's Early and Martin. The wide receiver to the left is Torrance Small. The running back is Vaughn Dunbar behind quarterback Bobby Hebert with Brenner the tight end on the right. Hebert under center and back to pass. Goes a long pass for Early down the far sideline. Caught at the 20. He'll score. Touchdown Saints. 59 yards, and it's Quinn Early with the TD reception.
Well, there's a case where Bobby Hebert kind of took a chance. Quinn Early really wasn't that open, maybe just a step. But Massey and Zordich, the free safety, ran together over there. Massey was on the coverage for Quinn Early. Zordich, the free safety, just came across, both trying to defend the pass. They both went for it and missed, hit each other, and Quinn Early just took it and easily went into the end zone.
7-play drive, and men, that covered 93 yards. The Saints had to start at their own 7.
Yeah, one of the very big plays in that drive, too, the personal foul against Eric Swan that got the Saints out of the shadow of their own goalpost, and they're able to take it down. He's the home run guy, as Quinn Early, and the Saints extend their lead.
Yeah, that just may break the back of the Cardinals here.
22-14 with the point after. Barnhart fumbled the last snap. Hilgenberg the snap. Cardinals were offsides. Ball down, kick in the air. It's good. We'll have the penalty mark-off most likely on the kickoff. Saints lead it, or should lead it, by a score of 23-14. 2:51 remaining here in the third period of play after the 59-yard pass from Hebert to Quinn Early. It's 23-14. We've got timeout. You're listening to Saints football.
This is Renee Nato. Join me and Wayne Mack right here after every New Orleans Saints game on Sports 1280 for the wrap-up show. Call us at 524-1280 in New Orleans. Out of town, toll-free, 1-800-364-1280. And we'll talk Saints football. On the wrap-up show, we'll have interviews, replays, and your calls about the team, the game, and the Saints in general. For the last word on the Saints game day, listen to the wrap-up show with me, Renee Nato, and Wayne Mack on Sports 1280.
Uh-oh, looks like he's going to be out of the game. If you just got put on injured reserve or want to stay in the game, the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital can help. A full range of medical professionals are trained to treat everyone from pro athletes, weekend warriors, or Little League champs. The Sports Medicine team can show you how to overcome existing injuries or prevent new ones using modern fitness equipment and medical technology, from sprained ankles to the most complicated injuries. The Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital. Call 885-FITT. That's 885-3488. Sports 1280 and your chance to talk to the president and general manager of the New Orleans Saints, Jim Finks, live from Stonebreaker's Restaurant every Wednesday evening at 6:30 with phone calls and audience input. The Jim Finks Show every Wednesday evening at 6:30 on Sports 1280.
In New Orleans, there will always be snowball stands in the summertime. You can depend on it. And since 1883, New Orleans has depended on the Whitney National Bank. In a time when the financial stability of your bank is more important than ever before, more and more people depend on the Whitney. Our dedication to customer service and personal banking relationships has remained uninterrupted for more than 100 years. Stable, competitive, personal, the Whitney. With 32 Metro New Orleans locations to serve you. Member FDIC.
Coming up after this Morton Anderson kickoff, and I'd lay great odds that it's out of the end zone because he kicks from the 40 this time after the 5-yard penalty. We'll have our second Halo Hall of Fame clue of the day.
I can't wait.
Anthony Edwards and Johnny Bailey deep to receive, and here's Anderson's kick, and it is indeed out of the end zone. It will hit 4 yards out of the end zone. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Saints Radio Network.
Emmy winners Bob Costas and Ron Barr, here both, right here. Ron has weeknights 9 to midnight. Bob has Sunday nights on WQUE-AM New Orleans.
The Halo Hall of Fame clue will have to wait. We have timeout. 2:46 remaining, third period. The suspense mounts. We'll be back in a moment. The Saints leading the Cardinals 23-14. And now this for Southwest Airlines. Today's game brought to you in part by Tabasco brand products featuring Tabasco brand pepper sauce, 7-spice chili, Tabasco brand Bloody Mary mix. Like the Saints, they're Louisiana legend. Like the offense, they're hot stuff. Saints now leading 23-14. Cardinals with the football at their own 20. First and 10. Chandler back to pass, throws in the flat, and it's incomplete at the 35-yard line. Intended for Ernie Jones. Defending on the play was Toy Cook. You guys want that clue?
Yeah, let's hear that.
The Halo Hall of Fame clue for this ball game, the second one. I was the center of attention on the Saints' original roster and captained the offensive team that first season. Who am I? If you think you know, mail your entry or postcard to Southwest Airlines Halo Hall of Fame contest, 111 Veterans Boulevard, Suite 704, Metairie, Louisiana 70005. Drawing deadline is November 4th.
I can't think of any.
Let's see if we can guess it.
I can never get it.
Second down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Chandler back to pass after the incompletion. He throws as he was sacked. The football is touched by the official. It must have been called an incompletion. It was, because the umpire picked the ball up.
Well, that was a sandwich there. Ricky and Pat got there just about the same time.
You know, the momentum switched in this game way back in the second quarter after that Dexter Davis interception in the end zone when the Saints had squandered that opportunity. 14-3 Cardinals, and they came out on the first play and tried to run that reverse. It lost yardage. They threw a couple of really deep passes where if they'd been content to perhaps exercise some more ball control, they could have been leading 14-3 at half. Instead, the Saints got a late touchdown in the second quarter, and it's been all Saints since.
Exactly right.
Third down and 10 from the 20 out of the shotgun in a split backfield. Two wideouts to the left and one to the right. Chandler with the rush on throws over the middle, and it's caught by Randall Hill at the 35. First down up to the 39-yard line. That'll be a 29-yard pass or a 19-yard pass play to Randall Hill.
He's pretty pleased about it, isn't he? Trying to get the crowd fired up. He's always been a very outgoing guy, and he's up on his feet and exhorting the crowd here, such as it is, estimated to below 30,000 fans.
Good throw by Chandler. Nice catch on the part of Randall Hill. The coverage was good by Jimmy Spencer. Fitted in there pretty good. Picked up a big first down. Just Chandler's second completion of the second half. He's 2 of 5, 28 yards.
That's only the first down of the second half for the Cardinals. First and 10 at the 39-yard line. Saints trail 14-3 earlier. Now lead 23-14. Just under 2 minutes remaining third quarter. Chandler back to pass on first and 10. Throws, caught, first down. Inside Saints territory at the 47-yard line. Caught by Ernie Jones.
That was another good throw by Chris Chandler. Kind of a sidearm job out there, but once again, Ernie Jones had taken Toy Cook deep, giving him a good fly move, and brought it back on a deep sideline. Excellent timing and another first down.
And Jones is hurt. He comes to the sideline favoring that right arm and shoulder.
At the 47, first and 10 for the Cardinals. 13-yard pass play to Ernie Jones. Second first down of the second half. 11th of the ball game for Phoenix. Moving from our left to our right, from the north to the south. Really no wind advantage here in Tempe.
Jones will be replaced by Anthony Edwards.
Injuries today hurting Phoenix. Ivory Lee Brown left earlier with ligament problems. Chandler back to pass after being under center. Throws one over the middle, and it's caught at the 40 down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, I was about to say that Edwards really had caught with just one pass this year. They could really be hurt with him in the lineup. He immediately comes in. He had one before for 13 yards. Immediately comes in, catches the ball over the middle, and a first down.
10-yard pass to Anthony Edwards. And Bailey comes out, and Larry Centers is back in after that 10-yard pass play. Third first down in a row for the Cardinals, 12th of the ball game. First and 10 at the 37-yard line in Saints territory. In the slot to the left is Kroll. Wide to the left is Randall Hill. Another wide receiver split to the right. Draw play, handoff goes to Centers, waits on a blocker, and squirts through somehow, gets 5 or 6 yards to the 32 or the 31.
Now he's shown some good quick feet here today and limited opportunities to carry the ball, but that's a nice run there as the third quarter ends with the Saints enjoying a 9-point advantage heading to the final 15 minutes.
You may have heard the gun in the background over this mammoth crowd in Tempe, Arizona. It's 23-14 Saints over the Cardinals. There's timeout. Fourth quarter coming. You're listening to Saints football.
Hi, this is Wayne Mack. Join me and my pal Renee Nadeau right here after every Saints game on Sports 1280. You know, I've always enjoyed talking about the Saints, and as soon as everybody else has their say about the game, you, Renee, and I will have the last word with your phone calls. In New Orleans, it's 524-1280. Outside New Orleans, toll-free, 1-800-364-1280. Join yours truly, Wayne Mack and Renee Nadeau, and your phone calls as we wrap it all up on Saints Game Day on Sports 1280.
What is your office communication system like? First Communication is the first team in communications. They're ready and able to tune up that out-of-tune communication system you're using now. Let First Communication compose your telephone system and service. It has some very pleasant notes. Listen to how First Communication guards against breakdown. Your present system's high notes compared with First Communication's low notes. Call First Communication at 464-1717 and listen to your telephone communication system perform like a symphony. On Sports 1280, you can talk to the always unpredictable Mr. Saints, Archie Manning, every Monday morning at 7, live from Stonebreaker's Restaurant at breakfast time. Call or be in the audience for the Archie Manning Monday Morning Quarterback Show, 7 a.m. on Sports 1280.
This game is brought to you by Ford Quality Care, proud sponsor of Saints Radio. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. Ford Quality Care. Second down, 4 yards to go from the 31-yard line. Phoenix on the offense, moving from our right to our left now here in the fourth period of play as the shadows grow long on the floor of Sun Devil Stadium. Edwards in motion for a moment. Chandler under center gets the snap. Being rushed out of the pocket. Rolls to his right. He's caught, tripped up, and dropped back at the 45-yard line. Getting credit for that tackle will be Wayne Martin. A 14-yard loss.
Well, the Saints came with an all-out blitz. One of the linebackers came right up the middle. Chandler thought he could get away from him, tried to get outside. Wayne Martin tripped him up. Chandler and the Cards suffer a big, big loss.
Third down and 18 yards to go, and the ball's back on the 45-yard line now. Picked up 3 first downs in this drive, and now go backwards with the big-time play from fourth-year Arkansas product, Wayne Martin. Saints' first-round draft choice in '89, who's having a great season. Randall Hill splits wide to the right. Edwards wide to the left. Cole in the slot to the left. Centers and Bailey in the backfield with quarterback Chris Chandler. Out of the shotgun, gets the snap, being rushed again, stands at his own 45, eludes one would-be tackler and another, runs, throws at the 50-yard line downfield. Oh, it's knocked away on a great defensive play. The Saints may have intercepted the football. No, it's incomplete. It was knocked away by Keith Taylor and almost intercepted by Brett Maxey.
Well, Keith Taylor really did make a big play. Chris Chandler did an outstanding job of getting away from several rushers on the part of the Saints, found an alley to throw to, and Keith Taylor just jumped in front of the intended receiver and knocked it away. Brett Maxey almost made the interception. Cardinals will have to punt it away.
And a new return man, Eric Martin, in there for the Saints. He has been working at punt return for 2 weeks now. Since Lewis Lips was put at injured reserve, he's been working in practice. Dowdell did not have a good day. Let me rephrase and say he has not had a good day. 14 minutes remaining in the game. Saints will get it back, leading 23-14. Snap to Camarillo. He punts a high one. Martin retreating inside his 10, gets away from the football. It bounces at the 2 and goes out of bounds for a 45-yard punt, but there's a flag on the play. And we'll read the flag. It was thrown. The line of scrimmage, the 45. The flag was thrown 10 yards downfield, and it was delay of game against the Saints.
But probably too many men on the field.
So we'll see if we repunt as the officials discuss it down on the field. Come into any participating Popeyes and register to win free Saints game tickets and a chance for an all-expense-paid trip to the Super Bowl during the Saints Super Sweepstakes. There's a new winner every week, so register often. See store for details from your friends at Popeyes and the Saints Network.
I would guess, David, they'll punt it again just to try to get an opportunity to get the Saints inside their 20-yard line.
Still discussing, the referee, Dick Hantak, with several of his co-workers in stripes. Jim Mora has come 5 yards out onto the field, and we'll hear the instruction from Dick Hantak. Or will we? 13:52 remaining in the game.
There is no foul on the play. There had been 12 men on the field. However, the 12th man had cleared the sideline prior to the snap. There were only 11 men. There were only 11 men on the field at the time of the snap. No foul.
Thanks for clearing that up for us, Dick.
Boy, with this crowd, it was a deafening catcall. We need to pause 90 seconds for these local messages. 13:52 remaining in the game, 23-14 Saints. You're listening to Saints football. Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona. Dave Garrett along with Archie Manning and Jim Henderson. Saints have the football back, leading 23-14 in the fourth period, 13:52 remaining. First and 10 from the 20-yard line.
And the Saints definitely have the momentum back also, Dave. Let's see what their action will be here if they continue to do a good job mixing run and pass.
Martin's left and Early is right. Hayward and Hilliard in the backfield, play action. Pass over the middle, caught by Martin at the 35, up to the 40, 45, jukes a player at the 50, still on his feet to the 45, down to the 43-yard line. Eric Martin cross country, and a big gainer for the Saints. Well, that'll tell you what they're going to do.
Well, I think it's safe to say, I said mix up run and pass. The Saints have not done a good job of running today, but they've done a lot of good play action passing. In this Cardinals secondary,
they don't tackle
well at all.
They
don't tackle. They also can't cover Eric Martin.
Certainly Michael Zordich can't. Boy, he missed the tackle that cost him about 20 yards on the play.
Bobby Hebert having one of his finest days as a pro. That's his 14th completion now in 20 attempts.
Eric Martin catching that pass.
I'd say in excess of 270 yards passing now on the day, and Bobby has 3 touchdowns.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line in Cardinal territory. There's a slot to the left. That's Brenner in the slot. Wide receivers left and right. Martin's on the left. Pitch goes to Hilliard, sweeping left. It's a clear-out block. There's a flag on the play, and Hilliard crosses the 40 and gets down to the 37. I'm going to guess that Eric Martin was in motion just a split second before the snap, and we'll read the penalty.
Either that or holding.
Flag thrown almost at the start of the play. We have encroachment against the Saints is what was the penalty signal from referee Dick Hantak. Thought I saw Eric moving into the neutral zone just before the snap.
The official...
Offside. Offense number 84 lined up in the neutral zone prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
From this eagle-eye view, hey.
Way to go.
Well, we got such a great view. We're down low. Bobby Hebert has 288 yards passing today, nearing 300. It's not. I think Bobby's had 2 300-yard passing days in his career.
How many did you have?
I don't know. Really? One year we had a lot. You know, usually when you're behind 35-7 at the half, you can chalk up some pretty good yardage in the second half.
First and 15 now from the 49. 3 wide receivers, Small to the right, Early and Martin to the left. Hebert back to pass. He lobs one, caught by Martin at the 45, down to the 40-yard line.
That was Tim McDonald on the coverage. He kind of got caught looking back into the backfield, seeing what Bobby was going to do, and what he was going to do was throw it to Eric Martin again. I think that's, 8 catches for Eric so far in this game. They've just been a great tandem once more. Not bad for a declining player, you know?
That's right. That was a good pattern. It's kind of a pivot out where he starts in on the slant and then takes it back out. Bobby being protected very well. Good throw, and Eric comes up with another big catch.
31,697 sports fans here today at Sun Devil Stadium. That was a gain of 9 by Eric Martin down to the 40. Second down and 6. Bobby Brenner in motion from right to left. Pitch goes to Hilliard, sweeping right. Now he has to cut back to the backfield and is snowed under. There's a flag on the play at the 45-yard line as Hilliard's tackled. He could go nowhere.
No, that play was snuffed out from the very beginning by the Cardinals, and Ironhead was out there trying to block for him. Perhaps he was called for holding. We'll wait and see.
Yes, holding. I think that's probably the case. I don't know why we try to run. We haven't done it all day. We should just line up and throw to Eric every time.
That's not a bad idea.
Offense number 34. Penalty is declined. Third down.
Well, here's one you've been waiting on. The Raiders still lead Seattle 12-0 in the third quarter. Houston 14, Denver 10 third quarter. Miami's turned it on New England now as Miami will win their 6th in a row. They lead 31-10 in third quarter. And the 49ers 42, Atlanta 10.
Do you think maybe at halftime Jim Mora told the Saints that if they didn't play better in the second half, they wouldn't get a week off? Could he do that? Would he do that?
Yeah, he would.
Third down and 11 yards to go now at the 45-yard line. Saints have 3 wide receivers to the right. Martin the most inside, then Wesley Carroll, then wide to the right Early. Shovel pass to Dalton Hilliard at the 45-yard line, 40, 35, down to the 25-yard line, to the 20, breaks free, to the 15, runs over a player to the 10. He's wrestled out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. How about that play with Dalton Hilliard on the shovel pass from Hebert?
That'll help the old stats, won't it? 38 yards on that little dump off, a play the Saints seldom try.
Some teams do it very well out of the shotgun formation where Bobby takes a snap, just moves to his left, and Dalton Hilliard, the blocking back, takes a little shovel pass right at the line of scrimmage. Oh, what a great job of running with the football after making the catch.
And Hilliard was flying, had broken several tackles, but turned on a burst of speed around the 25-yard line to get inside the 15, and then ran over two would-be tacklers out of bounds officially at the 6, I believe. It's first down and goal at the 6-yard line. Saints up 23-14. They've scored all the points here, the only points here in the second half.
New Orleans.
Saints want to call a timeout. 10:55 remaining in the game. 23-14 is the score. Saints in the lead after that pass play to Dalton Hilliard. Proud sponsor of Saints Radio, BC Headache Powder. Won't need them tonight. No matter where you're hurting, nothing works faster than BC Headache Powder. Saints lead 23-14. Now this for Popeyes. The footballs are flying, and New Orleans is out to win the West again. And as an official member of the Saints training table, your local Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits is proud to offer the best fans in the league, the Saints Touchdown Special. Enough of our famous New Orleans-style chicken and sides to feed 4 hungry fans and then some. This month's Saints Touchdown Special includes a box of hot, fresh Popeyes chicken, your choice of any 16-ounce side item, and 4 buttermilk biscuits for only $9.99. So come on in to your neighborhood Popeyes for a Saints Touchdown Special at the super party price of just $9.99. Home cooking for the home team. That's what Popeyes Saints Touchdown Special is all about. Pick one up today.
Dropping back to the end zone straight, dancing around, throwing to the sideline, and it's picked off by Troy Cook at the 30. He's to the 28. He's down to the 20-yard line, diving forward to the 19. The Saints have it anyway.
Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona, and attention to Saints fans, you can still subscribe to Saints Digest, the official publication of the Saints with game coverage, action photos, player features, stats, a column by Archie Manning, published 26 times a year, weekly, August through January, 4 special off-season issues. Saints Digest, yours for $32.95 a year. Order by calling 1-800-334-4005. You'll also receive the 92 Saints Media Guide, the very one we work with in this booth. That's 800-334-4005 for your subscription to Saints Digest. Saints call a timeout there to avoid confusion. First and goal from the 6 after that 38-yard pass play to Hilliard.
Bobby Hebert and Eric Martin having one of the biggest days of their career currently. Bobby's 15 of 22, 307 yards with 3 touchdowns and an interception. Eric has 8 of those catches for 153 yards and a touchdown.
Saints trail 14-10 at halftime. They had trailed 14-3 in the game.
Not easy being a Cardinal fan. These Cardinals haven't had a winning season since '84, haven't made the playoffs since '82, or won a division title since '75. They were the only team in the NFC East last year with a sub-500 record.
2 wideouts to the left. In the backfield is Craig Hayward. In motion, Wainwright to flanker left. Hebert under center. First and goal from the 6. Wainwright in motion. Handoff Hayward. Clean running at the 5. Down to the goal. Hayward scores. Touchdown Saints.
Well, Ironhead just on a quick hitting play takes on McDonald, the strong safety, and Zordich, the free safety, runs over both of them, takes them into the end zone.
Credit Wainwright for sealing off on a block there as well as the Saints score on their first down and goal play.
Well, the Cardinals were kind of rejuvenated there for a while in the first half. It looks like the Saints have put them away now.
Yeah, they bore the mark of a team that's used to losing, waiting for something to go wrong, and when it does, they just kind of caved in. And it's been all Saints in the second half and really established that momentum late in the second quarter.
Saints lead 29-14. Barnhart to hold in the end zone to our right, the south end zone. Here's the snap from Hilgenberg. Ball down, kick in the air. Good. Timeout on the field. 10:51 remaining in the ball game, and the Saints lead 30-14. We'll pause for these messages. You're listening to Saints football. Morton Anderson to kick off from our left to our right, and deep to return, Anthony Edwards and Johnny Bailey for the Phoenix Cardinals. Shadows get longer here at Sun Devil Stadium. It is a wobbly kick and will go out of bounds at the 4-yard line. This game brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Saints Radio Network, flying the newest pure jet fleet in America. Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart.
The kickoff spot by rule, the ball be at 35, first and 10.
Morton's unhappy with that effort, obviously, because he usually puts them through the end zone. He was checking his footing as he went back to pick up his kicking tee. This field was played on last night with a game here between Arizona State and Oregon State, right? That
That's
played
correct.
here last
Yes,
evening?
yes.
And the field's getting a little chewed up now, and I think he slipped as he approached that ball.
And walking on it in pregame, it was very damp. Wide receivers, 2 to the left and 1 to the right. The flanker to the right and 1 running back behind Chandler on 1st and 10 from the 35. Tight end, the H-back in motion. Chandler rolls to his left, now throws back to his right, caught by Sanders at the 30, up to the 45, or the 35, and up to the 39-yard line. He's tripped up there by Jimmy Spencer.
Good open field tackle by Jimmy Spencer. From the bench, Torrance Small will be out for a while. He's got leg cramps, but should return.
Hey, we're seeing Joel Schmengi down there now, in for Pat Swilling, right outside linebacker. He hasn't had much action this season. In fact, was inactive last Sunday night against the Rams.
Vaughn Johnson in now, backing up the line in the nickel defense. Sam Mills has gone most of the way today.
Anthony Edwards wide left, Prohl in the flank to the left, now in motion. Wide to the right, Randall Hill, 1 running back, centers behind Chandler. Straight back to pass out of the snap from center, throws, it's caught by Hill at the 47-yard line in Saints territory, and he's down right there. 14 yards on the reception from Chandler to Hill.
Good throw by Chris Chandler, right between about 4 secondary people of the Saints. Fitted in there and got a big first down.
You know, go ahead, David. This is a team that's made so many mistakes in personnel. A lot of people last year thought this was another one in getting Randall Hill. They gave up their first pick in this year's draft to the Dolphins, so Hill was the 23rd pick in the first round in 91. The Dolphins ended up getting the number 7 pick in this year's draft for him, and the 92 draft was far deeper and more talent laden.
Chandler back to pass on 1st and 10, complete to Cole. 1st and 10 from the 47. He catches the ball at the 40 and falls down to the 38-yard line, a 9-yard gain, and 2nd down and 1.
Well, the Rams are having a big day as they now, in the 4th quarter, now lead the Giants 31-10. Miami 38, New England 10 in the 3rd quarter. Chicago beats Tampa Bay 31-14.
Saints lead here 30-14. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the game, but Phoenix moving. Edwards wide to the left, Prohl in the slot to the left, Prohl in motion, out of the slot, across the formation to the right. Handoff goes to Bailey in the backfield, gets the first down, 35, down to the 30-yard line, down to the 26-yard line.
Nice running.
12 on the play.
Nice running on the part of Johnny Bailey. Good open field tackle by Gene Atkins, another first down for the Cardinals. Denver's gone on top of Houston now as they lead 17-14, 3rd quarter, and the 49ers have scored again and lead 49-10.
I think Jerry Rice got his 100th touchdown in that game earlier.
Can Atlanta climb out of this? Doesn't appear so. Not this game, this season. Wide receivers, 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Pass in the flat, caught by Edwards at the 20-yard line. Breaks a tackle at the 15 to the 10. He'll score to the 5 to the goal line, and he's in. Anthony Edwards breaking a tackle back at the 20-yard line. Eludes 2 other defenders and scores on the 26-yard pass play.
Nice move there by Anthony Edwards. Just a little, it's like the Saints are coming with a blitz. Chandler knew it. Just threw a little hitch pattern out to the left side. Edwards broke a tackle, I think, of Schmengi and Toy Cook. Picked up some blocking, worked himself into the end zone. Like Schmengi's down as the trainers come across.
Schmengi kneeling at the 13-yard line. And we have timeout called. We have a break. 8:02 remaining in the game. Saints lead has been cut to 10. It's 30-20. Now this for your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Now's your chance to see the most exciting and technically advanced lineup in our history. Introducing Jeep and Eagle for 1993. With innovative new models that will truly amaze and thrill you. See the new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the sophisticated new Eagle Vision. Get a classically rugged 2-door, 2-wheel drive Jeep Cherokee Sport for as little as $14,335. Or buy an American original, the fun-loving Jeep Wrangler, starting as low as $10,910. You can get great deals on every vehicle in stock. So whatever you do, don't miss the 93s at your Jeep and Eagle dealer. MSRP up to $500 cash back direct from Chrysler. Excludes title, taxes, and options. Actual prices may vary. These are limited time offers. Buyer must take delivery from dealer stock. See dealer for details. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
I love it here. It's fantastic.
The President Casino is the class of the coast.
We had a great Las Vegas. Eat your heart out.
The Southern hospitality is great.
The President Casino at the Broadwater in Biloxi. Open 24 hours every day. Free admission, free parking. Come and go as you please. Call 1-800-THE-PREZ.
You know him, you love him. He's Steve Stonebreaker, and he has the world's best baby back ribs. And Archie and I will be there in the morning having the world's best Danish and coffee as we broadcast the Archie Manning Monday Morning Quarterback Show. But in other times, we talk about Stonebreaker's restaurant in Metairie, serving the world's best baby backs, owned and operated by former Saint Steve Stonebreaker, where only a Saint could make such heavenly ribs. Schminke was helped off the field, the point after by Davis. The ball down and the kick is in the air and good. This is after the 26-yard pass from Chandler to Anthony Edwards, capping off a 5-play, 65-yard drive. Timeout on the field, 8:02 remaining in the contest now, and the Saints' lead has been cut to 9. It's 30-21 over the Cardinals.
Well, 8 minutes and 2 seconds remaining, and don't forget, a couple of weeks back, Phoenix came back when they were down 24-13 to the Redskins. When Robert Massett came up with those 2 big interceptions for touchdowns late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, most points the Saints have scored this season and the most that they've given up in a game.
Keep in mind the Saints blew a point after on a fumbled snap earlier this game, and instead of having a 10-point lead, it's 9. So the Cardinals will kick off from the 35-yard line, and the Saints set to return.
Well, Joe Marciano's rallying his return troops over there, something the Saints have not been very impressive with today, kickoff or punt returns. Be nice to get a little return here.
Marcus Dowdell was replaced here late in the game by Eric Martin, but the punt went over Martin's head and was not returned. Dowdell muffed 3 today.
He muffed 3 and then was eventually replaced by Eric Martin on the last punt return that Eric chose not to field. Be interesting to hear from Jim Mora in the locker room as to why Dowdell was pulled. Was it a matter of confidence? Was he having trouble with the sun? Exactly what was his problem? He got so much attention this week. He was all over the wire in the newspaper and everybody doing interviews with him. And Jim Mora tried to downplay that all week long, saying, look, it's only been 1 game. And maybe that's why he was trying to downplay it, because Marcus had a very poor afternoon.
Here's a wobbly kick that hits at the 16. Hilliard gets it at the 13, runs away from one would-be tackler, but is snowed under at the 17-yard line. Just gave the Phoenix defenders plenty of time to get down to the field, as Hilliard's number 1 concern was fielding the kickoff. 1st and 10 Saints at the 17.
Well, there's a long way to go here. 7:52 to play. The Saints leading by 9 points.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd come out with the play-action pass. I sure wouldn't try to just run the ball now down the throats of the Cardinals. The Saints have been unsuccessful running throughout the day. All their success has come by play-action pass and drop-back passing. I'd certainly stick with it.
Hilliard in the backfield now, along with Craig Hayward. Wide to the right is Carroll. Wide to the left is Quinn Early. The tight end on the left side is Hobie Brenner. From the 17-yard line, 1st down and 10 yards to go. First play of this drive. Fake handoff, play action. Hebert to pass, dumps it over the middle to Hilliard at the 20, up to the 23-yard line. And a quick gain of 7 yards, maybe 8 on the play.
Good first down call on the part of Carl Smith. Nothing fancy, just a play-action pass out of a running formation. Bobby looking downfield, protected well, and just dumps off a good safe pass over the middle. Picks up about 6 yards.
2nd down and 3 yards to go, a long 3 at that from the 23-yard line. Saints leading 30-21 with 7:21 remaining in the game. Early and Carroll split wide to the left. Hobie Brenner tied it on the right this time. And the flank to the left is Craig Hayward, the running back, Dalton Hilliard. Hebert under center on 2nd down and short yardage. Handoff goes to Dalton Hilliard, and he meets a stone wall at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he lost a yard to the 22. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, that was the rookie Michael Bankston, the rookie nose tackle out of Sam Houston State, who just engulfed him at the line of scrimmage and ran with him backward toward the Saints goal line. He had him completely wrapped up.
3rd down, 4 from the 22-yard line. 31,000 strong on their feet, trying to charge up the Cardinal defense. Saints leading by 9. They've scored on 3 possessions out of 4 here in the second half. This is their 5th possession. 2 wides to the left, 2 wides to the right.
Saints are 3 of 6 today on 3rd down situations. This is a big one.
Out of the shotgun, Dalton Hilliard blocking for Bobby Hebert. Snap from Hilgenberg, back in good shape. Here comes the defense, throw over the middle. It's caught, complete at the 25, up to the 29-yard line. Pass complete to Marcus Dowdell. Saints have a first down.
Well, he's in there because Torrance Small has those leg cramps, and so he's not able to make any great contribution on special teams, but that's his first catch in the NFL, and it comes at a big time.
And I'm sure it'll make Marcus feel good. He did a good job of getting inside the defender. Bobby showing some confidence there, throwing the ball to him and coming up with a big first down.
Saints are now 4 of 7 on third down conversions. A 7-yard pass play to Marcus Dowdell. First and 10 at the 29 in Saints territory. Wide receiver to the right this time is Wesley Carroll. Wide to the left, Quinn Early. Hilliard and Hayward in the backfield behind Hebert. Tight end is Hobie Brenner on the left. Fake handoff. Hebert back to pass. Pump fakes. Dumps one off. Overthrown. Incomplete in the flat to Craig Hayward at the 30-yard line. Our get well wishes go to Wesley Carroll today, and not the one on the field, but the father of our producer, who has a big day in his life coming up next Saturday. And that, of course, is the wedding on our off week. We planned that good, Robert. Planned it well.
We'll be there.
With bells on.
In fact, that's your gift, Robert, bells. Eric Martin is back in the lineup now. It's second down and 10 yards to go at the 29-yard line after the overthrown pass. Martin in the slot, Wesley Carroll to the right, Martin to the left along with Quinn Early. One back, Hilliard behind Hebert. Second and 10. Handoff of the draw play goes to Hilliard at the 30-yard line. Has some running room. 35 up to the 40. First down for the Saints at the 41.
Nice run. First down pickup on the 11-yard carry up to the 40-yard line. We mentioned a while back that the Saints hope to use Hilliard a little bit more today, and he's certainly been a big factor here in the second half. He seems to play awfully well on grass whenever he gets the opportunity.
One of the best running plays the Saints have had today. Of course, it looked like the Cardinals maybe expecting pass. Caught sleeping on a draw play, and Dalton running well.
They'll mark the football just off the 40-yard line, so we'll give Hilliard 12 yards officially, and it's first and 10 at the 41. Clock moving, 4:43 remaining in the game. Saints leading 30-21. Keep in mind, the Saints have scored 3 out of 4 possessions here in the second half. Wideouts to either side, and they're split very far off the formation. Out of the I formation now. Hebert straightaway handoff goes to Hayward, bust into the secondary, through the 45 up to the 49-yard line before he stopped. A gain of 8 at second down and 2 at the 49.
That's a good play for the Saints. I formation, most of the time you're looking for either a play-action pass or a deep handoff to the I-back. Bobby just slips it to Ironhead for the second time today and picks up 8 yards.
Brett Maxey has been sidelined by the heat. He's not expected to return. Schmengi just had his bell rung, perhaps a slight concussion. It's questionable whether he will be able to return as well. The Saints are kind of hoping they don't have to put their defense back out there, and the way they're running the ball, they might not have to.
Quinn Early breaks out of the huddle to the left, and Wesley Carroll splits to the right. I formation again for the Saints. Second down and 2 from the 49-yard line in their own territory. 3:38 remaining in the game, up by 9. Handoff to Hayward again. He tries to lean forward for the first down. I believe he got to the 50. He'll need to get downfield to the 49 in Phoenix territory for a first down, and I don't think he did. At the 50, a yard gain. It's third down and 1. 3:19 remaining in this contest. In a moment, we'll pick our Popeyes Pop of the game for our $500 charity donation from the Saint that we pick, who's delivered that Pop of the game. Substitutions being made in the Phoenix Cardinal lineup. Coming into the contest, Steve Heisch. Also coming in was David Braxton, the linebacker. Saints third down and very short from the midfield stripe. Phoenix having trouble getting men on and off the field. Quinn Early in motion with 2 tight ends in the lineup. Handoff goes to Hayward again off left tackle. If he got it, it was barely. He leaned forward. They may have to measure it. Phoenix does not think Hayward got it. It's very close. It will depend on the spot.
Cardinals call a timeout here.
Phoenix burns the timeout with 2:40 remaining in the game, and the Saints up 30-21. We may measure this one.
Doesn't look like he got a very favorable spot from a Saints viewpoint. Looked like he had really gotten it down close to the 49. It's going to be spotted right about
the midfield stripe.
At the 50, right in the middle of it.
Well, he did not get it then. Saints coaches talking on the far side sideline. field glasses, we see Tommy Barnhart talking with Joe Marciano and the rest of the punt team. 4th down.
Opponents have converted 2 out of 2 attempts on 4th down against the Cardinals, and the Saints are showing an inclination to pick it up here and hopefully for them run out the clock on this victory. They're going to go for it.
Well, it's 4th down and less than a yard, and
now
very
they're
late.
changing their mind.
Yeah, very late in the timeout. Barnhart and the punt team come on, and that causes Phoenix to have to hurry its defense onto the field. Count the players here, men. I don't think there's enough out there.
They don't have anybody back as yet. Now they bring Johnny Bailey onto the field, and he's running quickly back to his own 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 50-yard line. Barnhart back to punt. Toy Cook calls the signals. They do have a fake to Toy Cook. Saints have an offensive lineman moving here, but no penalty flag has been thrown. Long signal count. And the snap back to Barnhart. Big rush. It's a high spiraling kick, just doesn't turn over. Bailey catches, fumbles the football, and is back on it at the 18-yard line. A 35-yard punt. And we'll keep it here at Sun Devil Stadium as we await the 2-minute warning. 2:31 remaining in the contest now. Saints leading 30-21, and the Cardinals take over at the 17. It's one of only 2 offensive possessions here in the second half that the Saints did not get any points.
Oh, Pat Swilling is back in now for Joel Schmenge, who was shaken up on the Saints' last defensive series.
Calling the line of scrimmage the 18. Cole in the slot to the left. Edwards wide to the left. Randall Hill wide to the right. Centers and Bailey in the backfield with Chandler out of the shotgun from the 18-yard line. Snap back in good shape. Tosses a screen to Bailey at the 15, upfield to the 20, to the 21-yard line before he's down. 2:22 clock moving remaining in the game.
Ricky Jackson did a good job of reading that screen, coming off his block, rushing from the defensive left end spot, making the tackle for a nominal gain.
To the 22, it's a 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6. A slot and a wide out to the left, one wide out to the right out of the shotgun. Chandler back to pass, rushed out of the pocket, runs it at the 20, up to the 25-yard line, fumbles the football. Saints pick it up, but I hear whistles. Running it into the end zone was one of the Saints defenders, Gene Atkins. But
well, it looked like Chandler got his legs, David, twisted up under. He may have hurt his knee there.
Yeah, he's down at the 25-yard line.
And we're at the 2-minute mark here in the final period of play, so we'll pause for these messages and take a look at Chandler's injury during the break. 2 minutes remaining in the game. Saints lead by 9, 30-21. You're listening to Saints football. With our spotters, Gene Kansas and Todd Andrews, David Cooper, our stat man, Dave Garrett, along with Archie Manning and Jim Henderson, producer Bob Carroll, and Rob Fields in the booth today from Tempe, Arizona. Rob out observing, making sure the crew behaves on the road. It'll be 3rd down, 3 yards to go from the 25-yard line as we return after the 2-minute warning. And into the lineup, Chandler fumbled.
We see that as the 3rd of the day for the Saints. His first, Swilling and Martin each had one earlier.
Each week during the season, Archie, Jim, and I select the outstanding tackle of the game by a Saints player. In recognition of that player's big hit, Popeyes donates $500 to his favorite local charity. Our pick for this week's Popeyes Pop of the Game is Gene Atkins, who forced the fumble on Prohl back in the second drive of the 3rd period of play. The Saints took over and then scored. Gene Atkins gets our Pop of the Game, forcing the fumble by Prohl. Fumble recovered by Sam Mills, and the Saints go on to score and start their runaway here in the second half. In recognition for the Pop of the Game, Gene Atkins will designate a local charity to receive $500. Congratulations to Gene Atkins. And tune in next week for our Pop of the Game selection, brought to you by your local Popeyes famous fried chicken and biscuits, where you can register to win Saints game tickets in the Saints Super Sweepstakes.
Well, the Cardinals are about to go down to their 5th defeat against only one victory. That one victory, of course, came against Washington back on the 4th of October. The stretch that they've played now since the 2nd game of the season, their 2nd game of the season was Philadelphia. They have played Philadelphia, Dallas, Washington, the Giants, now the Saints. Philadelphia they'll play again, then San Francisco. Those are some tough opponents early in your schedule, especially when you're a struggling young team as the Cardinals are.
They'll go for it on 4th and 10. The football at the 18-yard line. Chandler under center, back to pass, throws over the middle, and he overthrows Randall Hill, incomplete. And the Saints will take over at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10, with 1:49 remaining in the game.
Well, Archie, you were talking about before the game that there might be a quarterback controversy when Tim Rosenbaugh is ready to play again. He's back on the active roster this week, although they said he would be rested one more week. Does he return to the starting lineup based on the way Chandler performed here today?
Well, not necessarily on the way Chandler performed. Now, when you're 1-5, sometimes you want to make a change just to make a change and try to get something going. I think that's a strong suit of Rosenbaugh. He seems to be kind of a fiery guy, and 2 years ago this team played very well behind him. I really think Chandler's done a good job today. He didn't have his best game, although he does make some good throws. He's a good athlete. Talking to some Cardinal people, they really feel like that Chandler probably has more ability, that he can make some throws, some of the deep throws and the hard sideline throws that Rosenbaugh can't necessarily make.
Saints won't do anything here. They'll put Quinn Early behind Bobby Hebert, who kneels to one knee with 1:46 remaining in the game. And the clock moving. It'll be a loss of a couple.
Well, the Cardinals came in surrendering an average of 28 points per game, worst in the NFL, and that has been exceeded by 2 here today by the Saints. They score a season-high 30 points while giving up a season-high 21 points to the Cardinals. The Saints got the momentum late in the second quarter, and Hebert hitting Eric Martin, who had a scintillating day for the touchdown that cut the Cardinal lead to 14-10 at halftime, and the Saints just kept right on from there in the third quarter, which has been a woeful one for the Cardinals this year. They've been outscored 41-9 before the Saints scored 2 unanswered touchdowns in the third quarter here today to put it away.
Hebert will kneel on second down and about 12 as the clock crosses the 1-minute mark, and the Saints will run one more play, and that should be it. Stay tuned for our locker room show. Archie Manning manning the microphone in our locker room today. We'll also have our wrap-up, and Doug Joubert with the scoreboard show later this afternoon to give you all of the NFL scores on this day in the NFL.
It's, of course, getting a win prior to their open date. All teams now in the NFL definitely look forward to that open date weekend. It's always good to receive that with a win.
And it looks like the Saints came out of this one in good health, and they've got another couple of weeks now to get Vince Buck and hopefully John Tice fully healthy. So they should be in excellent shape physically to begin essentially the second half of the season.
Hebert kneels. That'll be the last play of the game. The clock shows 6 seconds. Here comes Coach Jim Mora across the field to shake the hand of Joe Bugle. The Saints will move to 5-2 on the season. Phoenix falls to 1-5 on the season. And the Saints in this contest win it by a score of 30-21. That's today's game broadcast with the final score 30-21. Saints will return home tonight. They're scheduled to arrive back at General Aviation at 10:30 in the evening. Now stay tuned for the wrap-up show. Coming up in 2 minutes, you're listening to Saints football. Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix. Today, the Cardinals lose to the Saints 30-21. It is the 5th victory of the year against 2 losses for the Saints. Cardinals out of the NFC East fall to 1-5 on the year. They have already had their open date in 1992. Well, it was scary in the first half. Here's how it happened. The Saints lost the toss. Phoenix ran 3 plays and punted in the first half. Saints picked up a first down but had to punt away. A 60-yard punt by Tommy Barnhart gave the touchback to the Phoenix Cardinals, and they started off on the 20-yard line and drove 80 yards in 10 plays. Big plays in the drive. Prohl on a 14-yard reception. Bailey caught a 17-yard pass on a 3rd down. Randall Hill caught a 15-yard toss on a 3rd down. 3rd down and 2 from the 22. Pass interference was called on the Saints' Jimmy Spencer in the end zone. That gave the ball to the Phoenix Cardinals 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Bailey scored on this play. Remaining here in the first period of play, 1st and goal from the 1. The H-back in motion. Handoff goes to Bailey. Dives in the end zone for the touchdown. Bailey's 1-yard touchdown run capped a 10-play, 80-yard drive and almost 7 minutes of possession. Phoenix went up by a score of 7-0. The Saints came back, though. After getting a touchback on the kickoff, the first period ended. Saints on the drive. Their drive stalled at the 34-yard line, 4th down and 7 in Phoenix territory. Morton Anderson comes on to break a record. We'll talk about the record in a moment. The field goal was 52 yards, and here's how it happened. 52-yard field goal attempt by Morton Anderson with the Saints trailing 7-0, 12:23 remaining first half. Hilgenberg with the snap, ball down, kick in the air. It's long enough. He hit it. A 52-yard field goal. Of course, Anderson in the race with Lowry for field goals over 50 yards. Anderson breaks the record of 19 that the two shared. It's his record 20th over 50th, and that's also the 1,001st point in Morton Anderson's career. That drive, 10 plays, 46 yards, made it 7-3, Phoenix over the Saints. The Cardinals came right back, though, and scored, getting the football at the 21-yard line and using a 50-yard penalty on the Saints with the pass interference in the end zone, or the pass interference called on Reggie Jones at the 9-yard line. Phoenix took over 1st and goal at the 9, and on 2nd and goal at the 7, Chandler hit Ernie Jones on a 7-yard pass play that made it 14-3 with the point after. Saints come back and are driving the ball. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, a 22-yard pass to Martin, then a 23-yard pass to Wainwright, then a 26-yard pass to Quinn Early, gives the Saints the football 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. 2 plays later, it's 3rd down and goal at the 9, and here's what happened. No motion on the play out of the shotgun, 3rd and goal from the 9, snap back in good shape, Hebert pump fakes, looks off in the flat, overthrows one receiver, but to another, did he catch it? Yes.
I think it's intercepted.
It may have been intercepted, yes it was, in the end zone. Dexter Davis gets the interception. Phoenix takes over, but runs 3 plays and has to punt the football away. Well, the Saints are able to get a pass before the end of the first half for a touchdown. Taking over at their own 36-yard line, Eric Martin catches a 24-yard pass. Then we hit the 2-minute warning, and a 28-yard penalty is called on the Phoenix Cardinals for pass interference on Quinn Early. 1st and 10 at the 12 after the penalty. Saints then have 2nd down and 9 from the 11-yard line. Bobby Hebert, as usual, finds Eric Martin. 2nd and 10 from the 11. Martin in motion from right to left. Will be mirrored by one of the defensive backs. Hebert back to pass, looks up the middle, lobs one. It's caught by Martin. Touchdown Saints. He fumbles in the end zone, but the ground caused the fumble. Saints have scored on the little shovel pass to Martin at the 5, and he gets in. Bobby Hebert on the 11-yard pass to Eric Martin caps a 3-play drive that covered 64 yards, and we go to the halftime locker room. 14-10, Saints trailing by 4. The storyboard changes in the second half. We'll tell you about that in a moment on the Saints Network. Possession really doesn't count because the Saints kneeled on the ball 3 times. New Orleans took over after the opening kickoff at the 17-yard line and ran 3 plays and then were out. But Sam Mills recovered a fumble forced by Gene Atkins when Prohl caught a pass over the middle. Atkins gets our Popeyes pop of the game. Mills recovers the fumble at the 38-yard line, and the Saints were off on a scoring drive. On 1st and 10 from the 38, it was a 9-yard pass to Craig Hayward. Then on 2nd down and 1 from the 29, Dunbar ran for 7 yards. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line, Wainwright catches an 8-yard pass. 2nd down and 2 from the 14-yard line. The Saints lose a yard. So it's 3rd down and 3 from the 15. Hebert finds Dalton Hilliard for the touchdown. Early and Martin to the left, Martin in the slot to the left, the tight end on the right side in this formation. On 3rd down and 3, Hebert straight back to pass, looks over the middle. Now still looking, runs out of a receiver, throws for Dalton Hilliard, caught at the 5. Touchdown Saints! Hilliard had to outrun the defensive back as Hebert and Hilliard on the ad-lib outruns him, and Hebert just lobs it into the hands of Dalton. That capped a 5-play, 38-yard drive. The extra point kick did never get off the launching pad because the snap was fumbled by Tommy Barnhart. So the Saints led by a score of 16-14. Phoenix came 9 from the 8 after Hayward had missed a screen pass that almost was a lateral. Eric Swan was called for a personal foul. The penalty marched off to the 23-yard line. Saints had new life. On 3rd and 8 from the 25, Eric Martin caught a 16-yard pass to keep the drive alive. And then on 2nd down and 10 from the 41-yard line, Quinn Early outran 2 defenders with this big play. 2nd down and 10 from the 41-yard line. 2 wideouts to the right. That's Early and Martin. Wide receiver to the left is Torrance Small. The running back is Vaughn Dunbar behind quarterback Bobby Hebert with Brenner the tight end on the right. Hebert under center and back to pass. Goes a long pass for Early down the far sideline. Caught at the 20. He'll score. Touchdown Saints. Early outruns 2 defenders who basically ran into each other at the 20-yard line. Quinn marched into the end zone untouched. It caps off a 7-play, 93-yard drive, a 59-yard pass play to Early. 2:51 remaining third quarter. Saints are up 23-14. Phoenix comes back and picks up 3 first downs, but their drive stalled at the 45-yard line, and they had to punt it away. The Saints turned that punt and that possession into another score. Taking over at their own 20, it was a 37-yard pass to Eric Martin on the next offensive possession. Then on 3rd down and 11 at the 45, Dalton Hilliard gets a 38-yard pass play that he carries the football all the way down to the 6-yard line on the shovel pass up the middle. On 1st and goal from the 6, they give it to the Saints' affectionate Ironhead. Two wideouts to the left. In the backfield is Craig Hayward. In motion, Wainwright to flanker left. Hebert under center. 1st and goal from the 6. Wainwright in motion. Handoff Hayward. Clean running at the 5. Down to the goal. Hayward scores. Touchdown Saints. Craig Hayward, a 6-yard run. 5 plays, 80 yards. It only took 3 minutes. 10:51 remaining in the 4th period of play, and the Saints were up by a score of 30-14. One other highlight to give you, may have been a low light, but the Saints in the comfortable lead, though. Phoenix did not give up, coming back with a 1st down and 10 from the 26-yard line after getting the ball at the 35 and a couple of long plays. Chandler hits Anthony Edwards on this score. Wide receivers 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Pass in the flat caught by Edwards at the 20-yard line. Breaks a tackle at the 15 to the 10. He'll score to the 5 to the goal line, and he's in. Anthony Edwards breaking a tackle back at the 20-yard line. Eludes 2 other defenders and scores on the 26-yard pass play. 5 plays, 65 yards, 8:02 remaining 4th period. That was the last score we would see, 30-21. Saints win this ball game. Saints had taken back over and picked up 2 first downs, but then punted it away after a 4th down and inches at the 50-yard line. Coaches did not want to gamble anything, played defense. Cardinals had to run 3 plays and punt it or give it up on downs to the Saints at the 18-yard line. 3 kneels by Bobby Hebert. This game is history. 5-2 for the Saints. 1-5 on the year for the Cardinals. 30-21. Saints win this one in Tempe today. We'll have more on the wrap-up show in a moment. You're listening to Saints football. Archie Manning waiting in the locker room. The locker room show coming up in just a moment. Today, Bobby Hebert, 19 of 26 for 355 yards and 3 touchdown passes. 1 interception, his longest 59 yards on the pass to Quinn Early for the score. Eric Martin, 8 catches, 151 yards, his longest 36 on the day. Quinn Early only caught 2 today, but it was good for 85 yards. Each getting touchdown passes were Dalton Hilliard, Quinn Early, and Eric Martin. Barnhart had another good day of punting. 3 punts, an average of 52.3. His longest was 62 today. Marcus Dowdell had a difficult day punt returning. He muffed 3 out of 4. He had -6 in returns. And the Saints, with Morton Anderson booting that field goal early in the contest of 52 yards, had a good offensive day as well. Chandler passing 19 of 30 for 218, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Leading rusher was Bailey, 9 carries, 42 yards. Saints leading rusher was Craig Hayward, 6 carries, 30 yards, an average of 5 per carry. Saints move to 5-2 on the year, head to the off week. We'll be back in a couple of weeks as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to the Superdome for a noon kickoff on a Sunday afternoon. We'll have more stats and comments from players and coaches coming up in the locker room show. Once again, the final score here today, the Saints beat the Phoenix Cardinals 30-21 at Sun Devil Stadium. This is Dave Garrett speaking for Archie Manning and Jim Henderson. Game producer Bob Carroll. Our statistician today was David Cooper. Our spotters were Todd Andrews and Gene Kansas. And in-studio producer Craig Logston today. Vice President in charge of Clear Channel Sports is Tim West. Director of Network Sales, Rob Fields. Executive producer Ron Hayes. Engineer Chester Grubbs. Stay tuned for the Locker Room Show live with Archie Manning. This broadcast was originated and produced by Clear Channel Sports Networks, subsidiary of Clear Channel Communications Incorporated. Stay tuned for the Locker Room Show and the Scoreboard Show right here on the Saints Network.
Saints football on the New Orleans Saints Radio Network is proudly sponsored by Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. By Popeye's Fried Chicken and Biscuits, an official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. By Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. By Sears Brand Central, the brand you want at the store you trust. By your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer. Remember, there's only one Jeep. By Pennzoil Motor Oil and Gum Out, available at all Walmart stores. By BC Headache Powder. No matter where you're hurting, nothing works faster. By Tabasco brand products, Tabasco Sauce, 7-Spice Chili, and Tabasco Bloody Mary Mix. They're Louisiana legends. By Isle of Capri and Biloxi. Isle of Capri for Caribbean-style fun and games. And in Louisiana, by the Louisiana Lottery. Now stay tuned for our visit in the Saints locker room. You're listening to New Orleans Saints football. It's time to head to the locker room. The New Orleans Saints Network continues our exclusive live coverage of the Saints with interviews with the coaches and players in the Saints locker room.
Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona. A victorious day for the Saints, once again returning to general aviation about 10:30 Central Time tonight, just in case you wanted to know. And in the locker room, our own Archie Manning has the head coach of the Saints, Jim Mora.
Thank you very much, Dave. And I know Coach Mora is always excited after a win, but Coach, in visiting with your coaching staff before the game, they indicated they felt like this club was definitely better than a 1-4 record. And I'm sure that 80-yard drive in the first quarter kind of got your attention.
It really did, and you know, I agreed with them. We all felt that way. This was a team that, as you watch on film, they're just a better football team than 1-4. They played some very good games, beat an excellent team in the Redskins, which was no fluke, and you just saw that team that was so close to getting over the hump and winning some games. If they're going to win some games, if they just keep their spirits up and things like that, they've got the ability to win some games. I think Joe's doing a good job, and they're getting better. They can score quickly, and because with those three wideouts and the way Chandler's playing, they're capable of getting points on the board.
Coach, now that your football team did come from behind and win this football game, do you think that's a good experience for your team to be down 14-3 and then kind of shut them down, come back and put them away?
I think anytime you can come from behind and win a game, I think it helps you. I think it does some things for you. And this isn't the first time that we've done that this year, although this is the most we've been down at any point this year, 14-3. So, you know, I think that drive right before the halftime to get us the touchdown was a big drive, not only to help our morale, but maybe give them some questions going in at halftime. Well, these guys can come back, you know. So
we talked about that, and we talked about momentum, and of course you got down there earlier. Unfortunately, had the interception in the end zone. I thought your defense did a great job, and they came back, tried to run a reverse on first down. You threw them for a loss, then made them punt it away. As we mentioned, that touchdown prior to the half had to be a big one.
Yeah, that was important, and the defense responded when they had to. I thought our defense turned it up a notch the whole second half. I didn't get the feeling the first half that our defense, and they got me spoiled, Archie. They got me spoiled. I expect so much from those guys that they were playing at an intensity level that I'm used to with those guys, because when they turn it up and go full tilt, they're really tough. It's a great defense, and I thought they did the second half.
Coach Marcus Dowdell had a couple of big plays for him last week, and I guess what happened in his second outing is what you feared in his first time out. He had trouble fielding the football today, and you took him out at the end.
One thing about the National Football League, as you well know, Arch, is that it humbles you real quick, and you can go from the outhouse to the penthouse, or the penthouse to the outhouse, in Marcus's case, real quick. But hey, you know, it didn't surprise me that this happened. Maybe a little bit, but I still got confidence in him, and he'll get his opportunities. But he messed up three, and I just felt like, hey, let's get somebody back there who's going to catch it.
Coach, real quick, I thought Bobby Hebert, who's had big passing days before, I thought he made more big plays in this game today. Rush was on him, just turned around, and most of the time found Eric Mora.
Right. Well, I think Bobby looks for Eric most of the time, but I agree with you. He made things happen today. I mean, he himself, he did it. I mean, he made the play. He had to do it, and Eric made some great plays. But boy, he slung it in there sometimes. There was people all over Eric, but they completed the pass.
Well, Coach, congratulations. I know it feels good to be 5-2 and have a week off.
You bet. I'm looking forward to it.
Congratulations. Okay,
all right,
David.
Archie, thank you very much. We'll have more in the locker room in a moment after this for Castrol and Tabasco brand products. Welcome back to the Locker Room Show. Once again, here's Archie Manning. His guest is Quinn Early, who caught a 59-yard touchdown pass today. Here's Archie.
Quinn, you had some big plays early in the year. Hadn't been getting the ball thrown to you a great deal. Had to feel good to get behind them for the long one.
It really did, Arch. You know, I've been getting a little frustrated, and you know, Bobby made a great throw, and I got a good release on Massey, and it was just a great play.
We don't go deep that much, and it looked like Bobby was looking elsewhere and then just decided, let's take a shot. Looked like you had a step on Massey, and then I'm not sure if you saw it. It looked like Zordich, their free safety, just came over and knocked Massey away. You made the catch, and it was just a free run into the end zone.
Well, I did see it. I saw him coming, and I saw the ball, and all I was thinking to myself was just make the catch, because I knew I was going to take a shot, and I guess he just took a bad angle, and he knocked Massey out of the picture, and it was smooth sailing from there.
Quinn, you mentioned the frustration. Of course, you, as I mentioned, had a couple of big touchdowns early in the season. Not a lot of catches at this point. It's got to be frustrating. The Saints are throwing the ball a good bit. You know, if Eric's open a lot, somebody else has got to be running good routes and clearing people out like that. And I'm sure it is frustrating not to get more balls thrown in your direction.
Well, it is, you know, but I'm just trying to do my part and do whatever it takes, you know, to help the team win. And right now we are winning. And, you know, my opportunities will come, and I just have to keep plugging and, you know, I think things will go all right for me if I just keep working hard, and hopefully I'll get more passes in the future.
Quinn, here we are with 5-2. Got a week off, and I think at a point for many teams when you get that open date in the season is when you can kind of reflect a little bit. And I guess you go back to the training camp and all those hard days of working lacrosse. And if you look at the Saints' schedule, the way the teams have had to play to start with, most people would take a 5-2 at this point.
Well, I definitely agree, Arch. I think that 5-2 is a great record, going into the break against, especially against the teams that we've faced up to now. We could very easily be the other way, and I think that, we've worked really hard, and I think the dedication, I think it's really showed, in everybody, offensively, defensively, special teams, and, I'm fortunate for the games that we've won up to this point, and I think we just have to, take this week off and, heal our bumps and bruises and come back and just get ready for the second half of the season and try to do just as well.
Well, Quinn, congratulations on a great game, and enjoy your week off.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Archie. Now these local messages. You're listening to Saints football. Welcome back to Tempe. Derek Kennard on the offensive line, one of the starters for the Saints, helping protect Bobby Hebert, and he now is with Archie Manning.
David, a lot of smiling faces in this dressing room, but I'm not sure any more broader than one that Derek Kennard possesses, and it's got to be a great day for you, Derek. Of course, you played in this organization and played right here in this stadium, and come back here, and the Cardinals put up a good fight early, but it's a great win for the Saints.
Oh, yeah, they did put up a good fight, and, it does feel great to come out of here with a win, and it really feels good. The Cardinals put up a good fight at the first half, and we had to suck it up and come back in the second half, and we did well.
Yeah, I thought the ball club really showed a lot of character there. You're down 14-3, and the touchdown right before the half. It got down there, had the interception, came back with a touchdown. That had to be a big boost to the team coming in here at halftime.
Of course, that was a big boost for us. We needed that to get back into the ball game, and this ball club showed a lot of character to come back, and we have a bright future up ahead.
I know as an offensive lineman, it always gives you a thrill to have good balance in your offense. The passing game was good today. Once again, we kind of had a little trouble running the ball. It seemed like a lot of times we were real close to breaking something. Later in the game, though, we got a couple of draw plays that got some good yardage.
Yes, they did some change-ups on us defensively. They did some things that we wasn't expecting them to do to us, and we tried to make some adjustments, but the passing game was open for us, and we took advantage of that.
They made some personnel moves there. I know they had a new guy, Bankston, a rookie, playing in there at the nose guard spot instead of Waller, who they cut this week. You see that as maybe a little move of panic on the part of the organization making these kind of change-ups?
I'm not sure if it's panic or what, but I tell you, they're looking for a lot of big changes up ahead, and that's the feeling I get from the rest of the guys with the Phoenix Cardinals.
Well, Derek, we want to congratulate you on the win for the Saints today, but especially against your old team, the Phoenix Cardinals, and enjoy your week off.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, Archie, thank you very much. We'll have more in a moment after this for Southwest Airlines and BC Powders. Welcome back to the Locker Room Show. Bobby Hebert today, 19 of 26 for 355 yards and 3 touchdowns with 1 interception. He was sacked once, and Bobby Hebert is talking with the other quarterback, Archie Manning.
Bobby, Dave Garrett just gave out your stats. 19 of 26, 355 yards. Had to be a most enjoyable day out there.
Yeah, it felt really good. I didn't realize it was that good. But we were able to make some big plays with the passing game. We didn't run as well as we thought we'd be able to. The Giants had ran for about 250 yards on them last week, but they were coming up there to stop the run, and I think that helped our play-action passes.
Bobby, you said big plays, and I commented during the broadcast. I thought you made more big plays in this game than I've ever seen before. I mean, you've had big passing days, but a lot of times, you drop in the pocket, you find people open, you throw. Today, you got in trouble so many times with a good pass rush. You were able to whirl around, and most of the time find Eric Martin for big gainers.
Well, I don't know if it was just luck or just ad-libbing and trying to do something positive, but
when you get in a situation like that, man, and all of a sudden you say, hey, I got to throw this ball and get it to somebody. I mean, you look for 84. You got to admit it.
Well, yeah, Eric's made a lot of big plays for me and for this team, and he might not be able to practice every day with his knee, but if he can play like this in the games and only practice once a week, I'll take it. They can't double team him throughout the game because they want to mix up their coverages also, and when they're not double teaming him, he's able to get open and make big plays.
Well, it has to feel good to come back from being down 14-3, and it's got to feel good to be 5-2 and have a week off.
Well, I tell you what, it's great when you win, and especially having a week off. It'd be a long week if we wouldn't have won. But this is a good confidence builder, and we just need to keep on working hard and get ready to come back for Tampa Bay.
Well, Bobby, you had a great day, and as I've told everyone else, enjoy your week off.
All right, thank you, Archie.
Okay, thank you, Bobby.
All right, Archie, we'll be back with more after these local messages. You're listening to Saints Football. Welcome back to the Locker Room Show, to Archie once again with Pat Swilling.
Well, not quite Pat Swilling.
Okay.
He'll be coming around the corner.
I'll tell you what,
I got him right now, David.
All right, we'll get stats in a moment.
Pat had to get the defense's attention there in the first quarter. The Cards came out, went on a very impressive 80-yard drive.
They did a great job of running their offense. He hit a couple quick plays on us. They ran the ball with a draw a couple plays, and then they went for the bum. And it was a tough penalty on Reggie down there, but they did a good job of running their offense today.
I think he's a tough guy. He hangs in the pocket good, and it looks like their offensive line was protecting very well, especially early in the game.
They protected very well early on in the game, and our guys had a hard time getting there because they were max protecting, keeping the tight end in on both sides, 82 and 89. That made it difficult on us. But in the second half, our guys came out. We did a few different things differently, gave them some different wrinkles, and we got a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Did they change up on you a little bit? Of course, I know Joe Bugle's offense has always resembled Washington somewhat with the H-back. Today, not a lot of H-back, 3 wide receivers, and just the 1 running back and a tight end.
Well, I think they felt like they had to come in and try, if they could, establish the run. But once they couldn't, they just went to 3 wide out to try to throw the ball. And we did a good job, I think, of DBs of covering. Once we got a lot of pressure on the guy, you can't stand back there and let the guy just throw the ball. And our guys did a great job of getting good pressure.
Had almost mid-season. Now the team's got a week off. Let's reflect a little bit. How do you see this football team after 7 weeks?
Well, it looks pretty good. You don't want to be content, but you have to feel good about being 5-2. You know, we played a tough schedule. It hadn't been soft in any means. Our guys play some good football and some good teams. So that means that we're doing well and we're 5-2 and we're right in the thick of it.
Had you gone a couple of weeks without a lot of sacks, and I see you during the course of the game, I see you stretching a little bit out there and trying to get your hip loose. You still having a little problems with it?
I was a little bit today, but it loosened up, and I think I played pretty well. But basically, Archie, people are double teaming me. People are keeping a guard around on me. They're doing some different things, and that's part of it, and we knew they'd do it. But our other guys like Ricky, Wayne Martin, those guys doing a great job of just getting to the quarterback, and that's a total team effort.
Congratulations on another great win.
Thank you.
Thank you, Archie.
All
And
right.
we'll be back with more in just a moment after this for Castrol and Sears Brand Central. Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona. Abear today, 19 of 26, 355 yards, 3 touchdowns, his longest 59 yards on a reception by Quinn Early, who caught 2 passes for 85 total and a touchdown. Dalton Hilliard caught a touchdown pass, 3 total catches for 60 yards, longest was 38. And Eric Martin caught 8 today for 151 yards. Morton Anderson booted a 52-yard field goal today, and the Saints go on to win by a score of 30-21 over the Phoenix Cardinals. Leading ground gainer was Craig Hayward, 6 carries, 30 yards. The Saints on the ground, though, only got 50 yards today on 25 carries. Chris Chandler was 19 of 30 for 218 and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Leading ground gainer for the Cardinals, 9 carries, 42 yards, Johnny Bailey this afternoon. Cardinals fall to 1-5 on the season. Saints are now 5-2 on the year. That's today's Locker Room Show. Our thanks to Archie Manning, our producer Robert Carroll. Stay tuned for the NFL Scoreboard Show with Doug Joubert on many of these Saints Radio Network stations. Once again, the final score, Saints win over the Cardinals 30-21. Airtime in 2 weeks for the next Saints Tampa Bay game is at 10:40 on many of these Saints Radio Network stations. We're off next week. Remember the Archie Manning Monday Morning Quarterback Show, 7 a.m. tomorrow. The Jim Mora Call-In Show, Tuesday night at 6:30. And the Jim Fink Show, Wednesday night at 6:30 on many of these Saints Radio Network stations. This is David Garrett from Tempe, Arizona. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Cher. Goodbye, everybody.